Happy Onam to all our viewers. നമ്മൾ 70ഓളം പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. നമ്മൾ പല പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റിലും ഇൻ്റർനാഷണൽ ഗസ്റ്റിനെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇന്ന് ഓണം ആയിട്ട് സ്പെഷ്യലായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന ഗസ്റ്റ് ബോസ്റ്റണിൽ നിന്നാണ്, US നിന്ന്. 22 വയസ്സുകാരനാണ്. സ്റ്റാൻഫോർഡ് ഡ്രോപ്പ് ഔട്ടാണ്. കോമ്പിനേറ്റർ അലുമിനിയം കൂടിയാണ്. ഈ പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റിൽ ആക്ച്വലി അലൻ്റെ ജേർണി, ലൈക്ക് വൈ ഡിഡ് ഇറ്റ് ഡ്രോപ്പ് ഔട്ട് ഫ്രം സ്റ്റാൻഫോർഡ്. സ്റ്റാൻഫോർഡിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഏതൊരു ഓൺടർപ്രണർ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇവിടെയുള്ള ആളും സ്റ്റാൻഫോർഡിൽ ഒരു MBA അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്കൂൾ പ്രോഗ്രാം ചെയ്യാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കും. ദെൻ ഹി വെന്റ് ദർ ആൻഡ് ഹി ഡ്രോപ്ഡ് ഔട്ട്. ആൻഡ് കുറേ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഈ പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റിൽ നമുക്ക് കവർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് വാട്ട് ഈസ് ബിൽഡിംഗ് ഓൺ ആൻഡ് ഈസ് ഹയറിംഗ് ആസ് വെൽ. ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് തിങ്സ് ആർ ഡിസ്കസ് ഇൻ ദിസ് എപ്പിസോഡ്. സോ മേക്ക് ഷ്യൂർ യു ട്യൂൺ ഇൻ ആൻഡ് വെൽക്കം അലൻ ടു KPH പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ്. With Sundar Pichai, I saw one Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, and these guys like literally with every. And have you been with Elon Musk? I think not yet. Elon Musk.
Not yet. One thing is, people really like that I was a beekeeper.
What is that? You had a bee?
Beehives.
Oh.
Yeah, I have beehives and I manage them, and people really enjoy talking about bee society, bee social dynamics, bee hierarchies, bee politics.
There's bee politics as well.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! It's like the French Revolution. They have coups. They have civil wars. They have.
These are the honeybees or the bees we are talking about.
Honeybees. Yeah. They're very intelligent creatures. Actually, they have a very intricate social hierarchy. Good. But see, immediately you come up with questions, right? So I would never realize that this hobby that I do is that interesting. But every time I said it to someone, they say, "Wait, that's so interesting. I want to learn more about that."
Yeah.
That reminds me of a challenge that my friend did, where every day in a month he tried to hear no. He tried to get rejected.
Oh.
He tried to fail every day. And on October 1st, he told me this. And immediately I saw the value. Because I said, okay, if I hear no every day, that'll remove my fear. I won't be afraid of things anymore. And it's October 1st, so it's the perfect time to start. So, I don't know. So you're releasing this on Onam, right? So start of September. So I recommend, if anybody's watching this, try this.
Yeah.
Every day for the rest of September, try to hear no. Your goal is to ask people for things over and over again. If they hear yes, you failed.
Yeah.
You need to hear no.
Okay, interesting. So you have to find the ideas where people will reject, or propose that girl you ever wanted to. You know, all these things you do.
Few rules. One thing. So I had a lot of respect for Y Combinator and Gary Tan. So he came to speak and he sat in the front row. So I was going to find a seat and I said, "Oh, it'd be really nice to sit with Gary Tan, but he's sitting there. I shouldn't do it." There it is. So I went to the front and I said, "What if I just sit down with them? What are they gonna do? Tell me no? Good. So be it."
Yeah.
So I sat down right next to him in the front row for the speakers.
Oh.
And he was such a nice person. I said, "Hey Gary, how are you?" He goes, "Oh, I'm doing good. How are you?" I just asked him a few questions about Y Combinator. He's so nice. Then I asked him, "Hey, can I take a picture with you?" "Yeah, sure. I still have that photo on my phone."
Well.
I think I posted that.
Yeah, I think I saw it on X as well.
Yeah. 10 years with nothing before that overnight success moment. Many stories are like that. But the biggest thing for me was that was a story I resonated with. I could see myself going down that path for the first time. I was never able to really identify with an entrepreneur like that before. He said, "I built things, I got users quickly, I enjoyed engineering, I enjoyed creating things." He and I were very similar. So for the first time I said, I can see this is a successful entrepreneur. I can see myself in him. I can see myself making the decisions that he made. So maybe entrepreneurship isn't that crazy. Maybe it's something realistic. And the way he talked about it is, and this is the reality. Yes, 99% of companies fail, but that's because only the 1% of the best succeed. That was something I really liked. When I worked in companies, you're working with a big team, you have to listen to your boss, you have to work within a system. But with startups, if you succeed, it's because of you. If you fail, it's because of you. It's like chess.
Yes.
I like chess because with chess, if you lose, it's your fault.
Yeah.
There's no luck involved.
KPH കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയിലുള്ള പല ഫൗണ്ടേഴ്സും പറയുന്നത് പല പ്രൊഡക്റ്റും ഓവർ ദ വീക്കെൻഡ് പ്രൊജക്റ്റായിട്ട് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. ഫണ്ണായിട്ട് ശനിയും ഞായറും ഇരുന്ന് ബിൽഡ് ചെയ്ത് മൺഡേ ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്യുക എന്നൊരു ആക്ടിവിറ്റി തന്നെയാണ് പല ഫൗണ്ടേഴ്സും ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. അത് റിപ്ലിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് KPH ഹാക്കത്തോണിൻ്റെ ഇൻറ്റൻഷൻ. ക്യാൻ യു ബിൽഡ് $1,000 per month ജനറേറ്റിംഗ് പ്രൊഡക്ട്സ് ഫ്രം കേരള? AI വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. തിങ്സ് ഹാവ് ബിക്കം really ഈസിയർ. നൗ ഇറ്റ്സ് എ മാറ്റർ ഓഫ് ലോഞ്ചിങ് ദി പ്രൊഡക്ട്സ് ആൻഡ് സ്കെയിലിംഗ് ഇറ്റ്. KPHൻ്റെ മറ്റൊരു ഇവൻറ്റ്സ് എല്ലാം പോലെ ഇത് ഇൻവൈറ്റ് ഓൺലി ഹാക്കത്തോണാണ്. എക്സ്ട്രീം ക്യൂറേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സീരിയസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാരെ മാത്രമാണ് നമ്മൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. ആ ഫൗണ്ടേഴ്സ് ബിൽഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് നെക്സ്റ്റ് 3 months $1,000 per month ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ എന്നുള്ളതാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ചലഞ്ച്. നമ്മുടെ ഹാക്കത്തോൺ കഴിയുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റായിട്ട് ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്യുക. ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ആ റിസോഴ്സസ് ഫ്രം ലോഞ്ചിങ് ടു ജനറേറ്റിംഗ് ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഡോളർ ഫ്രം ദി ഇൻ്റർനെറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ഫസ്റ്റ് $1 to $10, $10 to $100 to $1,000 per month. ആ ഒരു സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ബൈ സ്റ്റെപ്പ് സ്റ്റേജസ് ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യുക. അത് ഫ്രം ദ മെൻറ്റേഴ്സ് ഫ്രം KPH ആണ് നമ്മൾ എനേബിൾ ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുന്നത്. KPH ഹാക്കത്തോണായിട്ട് കൊളാബറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ താല്പര്യമുള്ളവർക്ക് നമ്മളെ കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്. ഫീൽ ഫ്രീ ടു റീച്ച് അസ് ഔട്ട്. ഹാക്കത്തോൺ ലിങ്ക് ഈസ് ഇൻ ദ ബയോ ആൻഡ് സീ യു സൂൺ. നമ്മൾ ഏകദേശം 60ഓളം പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് എപ്പിസോഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. പല ആൾക്കാരും ഇമെയിൽ കണ്ടെത്തി ഇമെയിൽ അയക്കാറുണ്ട്. അത് ഞാൻ സമയം കിട്ടുമ്പോൾ റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മളൊരു വാട്സപ്പ് നമ്പർ കൂടി പോയിട്ട് വാട്സപ്പ് ബോട്ട് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ബി ഫോർ എനി നീഡ് യു ക്യാൻ റീച്ച് അസ് വാട്സാപ്പ്. ബി ഫോർ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ലോഞ്ചസ്, ഹയറിംഗ്, ഫണ്ടിങ്, എന്തിനാണെങ്കിലും ഫീൽ ഫ്രീ ടു റീച്ച് ഔട്ട്. And I'm putting our number here and back to the episode. ഹാപ്പി ഓണം ടു ഓൾ അവർ വ്യൂവേഴ്സ്. നമ്മൾ 70ഓളം പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. നമ്മൾ പല പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റിലും ഇൻ്റർനാഷണൽ ഗസ്റ്റിനെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇന്ന് ഓണം ആയിട്ട് സ്പെഷ്യലായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന ഗസ്റ്റ് ബോസ്റ്റണിൽ നിന്നാണ്, US നിന്ന്. 22 വയസ്സുകാരനാണ്. സ്റ്റാൻഫോർഡ് ഡ്രോപ്പൗട്ടാണ്. കോമ്പിനേറ്റർ അലുമിനിയം കൂടിയാണ്. ഈ പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റിൽ ആക്ച്വലി അലൻ്റെ ജേർണി, ലൈക്ക് വൈ ഡിഡ് ഇറ്റ് ഡ്രോപ്പ് ഔട്ട് ഫ്രം സ്റ്റാൻഫോർഡിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഏതൊരു ഓണ്ടർപ്രണർ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇവിടെയുള്ള ആളും സ്റ്റാൻഫോർഡിൽ ഒരു MBA അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്കൂൾ പ്രോഗ്രാം ചെയ്യാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കും. ദെൻ ഹി വെന്റ് ദർ ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് ഡ്രോപ്ഡ് ഔട്ട്. ആൻഡ് കുറേ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഈ പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റിൽ നമ്മൾ കവർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് വാട്ട് ഈസ് ബിൽഡിംഗ് ഓൺ ആൻഡ് ഈസ് ഹയറിംഗ് ആസ് വെൽ. ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് തിങ്സ് ആർ ഡിസ്കസ് ഇൻ ദിസ് എപ്പിസോഡ്. സോ മേക്ക് ഷ്യൂർ യു ട്യൂൺ ഇൻ ആൻഡ് വെൽക്കം Allen to KPH podcast.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Yes, Allen, and maybe you can share a bit about you and Friday email, and that's one thing you cracked on Y Combinator and raised around $2 million as well, right? So could you share more about that journey?
For sure. Yeah, I'm Allen Naliath, the CEO of Friday. Friday is a YC AI startup. Basically, it understands the emails in your Gmail account and will give you actions. So for example, if you get an email from your boss, it will automatically reply for you, just say, okay, go do it. Or it will remove all the spam or unsubscribe from things. All the actions you need to do, it'll predict it and you just give it the approval.
Wow.
So it's a full assistant for your Gmail.
Wow, it's like a superhuman for a Gmail.
Exactly.
Awesome. And tell me about, bit about childhood and how did you got into this entrepreneurship thing, right? So tell me, walk us through the journey of that.
Yeah, I actually, growing up, I was very interested in entrepreneurship. I loved the idea of starting my own company, of exploring ideas, being able to create things. But my misconception was that I heard that, 99% of startups fail. Almost everyone fails. So I thought it's like the lottery. I thought it's like gambling. So when I was in high school and going into college, I thought, being an entrepreneur is not realistic. It's just luck. I don't want to do anything that's luck-based. So I enjoy engineering. I enjoy computer science.
Where did you have that engineering from?
Yeah, actually. So my parents are both in IT. They're both in software. So growing up, I didn't want to do software.
Oh.
No software.
Okay.
So I actually wanted to get into astrophysics.
Oh.
Love space. I enjoyed mathematics. But my problem with math is it's very beautiful. It's like the language of the universe. But I had no way of engaging with it consistently in the real world. Outside of maybe theory, outside of practice, I couldn't really solve a lot of problems with it until I took my first computer science class in high school.
Oh.
And it just clicked like that. It came very naturally to me. It was very fun. I asked for more homework for the first time in my life.
Oh.
And I also had some very good teachers. Another thing was we had a robotics program in that high school. So I joined the robotics team. I became the captain of that robotics team. We actually went to the World Championships and had the #1 ranked autonomous program in the world.
Wow.
But all that experience of getting into programming it and finding it not too challenging. It was like fun to explore, but at the same time, just challenging enough to keep you interested. So yeah, I was hooked. I really would program in my free time. I built apps.
Oh, do you remember the first app you made? Any remembering?
Yeah, it was actually a startup
Okay.
called Food Cycle. I made
Oh.
it with like 4 or 5 friends, and the idea was, you know, as Indians, our culture values to minimize waste. We don't as a family we don't waste food. We don't try to waste a lot of things in general. But in America, there's a lot of waste, a lot of food waste, especially in Boston, where I'm from. Dunkin' Donuts is a very big chain. What they do is at the end of each day, any food they don't sell, they throw it away. It may be a risk minimization thing, but they just throw all the food. So if you go actually very late at night and you say, "Oh, hey, can I get a donut?" They'll give you 2 or 3. But I see all that food being wasted. Many restaurants do this, and 40% of food is wasted in America. 40%. It's very, very high.
A lot.
And despite that, even in a country like the United States, 40 million people every day are hungry. So there's a big mismatch. There's extra food and there's hungry people. So I said, okay, how can we get food to these people? So I came up with this idea that I did very little validation on. But the idea was the food at the end of the day, you track the inventory of the restaurant and then you say, okay, we have this much food. So you have a pricing algorithm that will say, okay, the food is 30% off, 40% off, 50% off, and you reduce the price to sell all that inventory. So the company gets a little bit of profit. The food gets
not wasted.
Not wasted.
Yeah.
And with some of those profits, you take a portion and then you can fund a truck. That truck can go around and collect the food and donate it to a food bank.
Wow. Pretty good.
That was the idea. I made so many mistakes. I spent so long learning how to program before AI existed.
Yeah.
And I spent over a year building this app. So long. I didn't get any users. I didn't launch anything. I didn't talk to anyone. I just built. And finally, everything was perfect. I had all my businesses ready and we launched. You know when we launched? February 2020.
Dope.
1 month before COVID and all the restaurants shut down.
Yeah.
So we had to stop working on it. But I learned so many things. Main thing was like YC teaches you just launch fast, launch early. Don't wait until your product is perfect. Don't wait until everything is in the exactly right conditions. A lot of people that are engineers or maybe the startup type tend to be perfectionists. They tend to be obsessed with quality. But with perfection comes maybe a lack, an unwillingness to put an idea out there before it's ready. But that's actually the thing you should do.
Makes sense. The launch fast kind of thing, right? So
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about the Stanford journey. You are a Stanford graduate or dropout, right? So
Yeah.
tell me about how did you get into Stanford? What is it like in comparison to the other colleges?
Yeah, I actually found out midway through my Stanford experience that you can go and see your admissions file.
Oh.
You can see what comments they put, but Stanford legally has to keep that information, otherwise they won't show it to you. So the moment those expirations come along, they quickly redact all the information. So I only saw like a little bit, but from what I can tell, they really liked my internship experience in high school, and they really liked my robotics achievements. Those 2 things. They said my extracurriculars were rated 1, which is to them an Olympic level.
Whoa. I think I jumped quickly to the Stanford journey. Maybe walk me through what other things have you done in the college or internships you have said.
Yeah. In high school, again, I really enjoyed programming, right? So I wanted to get some work experience. So reached out to a lot of companies and I worked 3 internships. My first one was actually very non-technical. I did a little bit of like Unix commands to manage servers, and I actually went into the server room and unplugged the cables. They were migrating some servers. So, but it was my first time working in an office and learning that sort of structure. That's good. My second internship was actually really life-changing. It was a company called Neuroflash. They built AI chatbots. This was before AI. This was just using like NLP. So
NLP is natural language processing.
Natural language processing, where you examine the structure of the words to understand the content. It's it's the precursor to large language models, actually, like
Oh.
ChatGPT. But with this, you can say, oh, how do I get to this store? And you feed it a few examples, like take me to this place. How do I get to this location? How do I get to this store? How do I find this location? Many different variations, and you teach the model. And then when a user says, oh, how do I get to the store? You can figure out which words. But they built AI chatbots, and they taught me how to build these AI chatbots, and it was so much fun. I built some internal tools for them, and they actually even, I try to put this into practice. Said, oh, what can I build for myself? So I actually built a bot that if you are kind to it, it'll behave regularly. But if you insult it, it'll come back with yo mama jokes.
Or like the
it will
grok
insult
of
you.
X, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very early grok.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was so much fun. It was remote. It was yeah, I think around this time of COVID. So it was a remote internship, but I had a really good boss, really good mentor. But the biggest thing I liked about it is how much freedom they gave me.
Oh.
They said, here's your task. Here's some documentation. If you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, figure it out. But a lot of time to experiment, a lot of time to grow, a lot of time to make decisions on my own about the product and what I was building.
Basically self-learning, learning by doing kind of thing than
Yeah.
being told what to do, right? So I think that's a key learning as well, right?
Exactly.
So walk me through the other internship, anything before entering to Stanford.
Yeah, there was one more actually. I just took my AI chatbot skills and I went to my dad's company actually, and I asked them, hey, I can upgrade your website. I can add a chatbot to this system. And they're okay, cool. It was more like I did more like a contractor role.
Yeah.
But that was also pretty good. But it just got me interested in programming. I started writing production code for the first time.
Wow.
So yeah, it was pretty good.
Tell me a bit about your parents, since you said both are into IT, right? Could you be more specific? Are they into...
Yeah, both my parents, I said, are in the IT field. They're both very supportive, very great parents, I'd say. They both push me to do great things. I say this all the time, that good parents should support you from both sides. As in, your mother should support you from below, and your father should support you from above. As in, when you're having a bad day, or if you are maybe struggling, or if you're feeling down, your mother should be there to listen to you, care for you, support you. And that's mainly the role that she played. She would like push me if I'm tired, or if I need a little bit of push, which I sometimes do. My father is very good at helping me to think big. He goes like, oh, don't think that way. That's the wrong thing to think about. Think bigger. Think of bigger problems. Shoot for goals. So the sort of ambitious mindset really comes from my father too. And he taught me a lot of things actually. When I was very little, he would sit with me and teach me all sorts of concepts, and he made learning fun.
Oh.
So that's
Tell me more about learning fun. I mean, because the students in Kerala are not beaten to learn, right? So how do you go about it? I want to understand how you're raised.
So when I was very little, maybe 4 or 5, he would teach me mathematics. He would say,
and when you're 4 and 5 year old.
Yeah, actually, when I was in kindergarten, I knew math to like maybe a 3rd, 4th grade level.
Wow.
But he would say, oh, here's how you do addition. Here's how you practice this: subtraction, multiplication, division, long division, all these things. And then he would also go into, okay, today we're going to sit down. We're going to learn how power cables work.
Wow.
We're going to learn how a battery works. Here's a battery. Here's a copper wire. Here's a light. Let's make a circuit.
Oh.
And you have these toys, and you have these like literally light bulb moments when you complete that circuit, and it's a sort of very patient parenting style, I think, that resonated very well with me. I enjoyed learning. I enjoyed those concepts. So when I went to school, that mindset was still there. Like, oh yeah, I'm comfortable. I can understand everything, and anything I don't understand, I can work through it and figure it out. But I think the moment you get to the point where you're like, oh, I don't want to learn this, so I'm just going to memorize it, and you don't internalize those concepts, immediately you start falling behind. I've seen this in my own life too. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm so busy, I'm just going to cram this, I'm going to memorize it. But the moment you get to the next topic, you start to struggle because your fundamentals aren't there. So when I learn things, the best way I do it is, you need to learn in a way that you can teach it to someone else.
Hmm.
So if you want to learn a new programming language, pretend to teach like a stuffed animal or something. Go like, oh yeah, this is how you do it. Because when you try to teach someone something, repeating the information no longer works. You need to have a fundamental understanding of the concepts. You need to have a layer in your brain that is functional.
Yep.
And if you just memorize the concepts, you're going to make some mistake along the way. You're going to go, oh, actually, I don't understand how that works.
Yeah.
And then you can go back and revisit it.
Makes sense. So I think any other mental models or something you have figured out for yourself, like first principles or something you tend to...
Some things that I've learned very recently is when you're trying to learn something, don't try to learn everything. There's two computer science algorithms, like breadth first search and depth first search, right? The recommended style is depth first.
Yep.
So you let's say I want to build an iOS app. The goal is not, let me learn how to program, let me learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, let me learn Swift, let me take a course, let me understand MVVM, all these different things. Instead, find a YouTube tutorial where they say, here's how you build a clone of Twitter.
Yeah.
And just follow it and try to understand. And the moment you don't understand something, now you have a point.
Yeah.
Now you have something to explore.
Yeah.
Now you have a question to ask.
Yeah.
And especially in the age of AI, it works so well. You can say, how do I do this? Can you explain this to me like I'm a beginner? And then you understand only what you need to learn.
Yeah.
And what will happen is, as you grow more and more, you'll learn things by necessity.
Yeah.
That was sometimes my problem with school, where they teach a lot of different things, but you're like, why am I learning this? Why do you need this?
Yeah.
And if you're not interested and you don't feel like you need the stuff, you're not going to learn it. But if you're learning by necessity, then you'll learn some concept and you'll be like, I need this because otherwise my app's not going to work.
Yeah.
Or I need this, otherwise I'm not going to be able to build this engineering project. Then it makes sense. Then you go, I know why we need this. I know why it's important. I love when mathematics is taught that way. One of my favorite teachers at Stanford, his name is Chris Peach. He specializes in computer science education, and he taught us CS probability and statistics.
Wow.
So his teaching style is one I've never seen before. He actually has a very famous video on Wired, which is a YouTube channel. It's like Stanford computer scientist answers questions. Go watch that if you have time. It's a wonderful video. You'll see the kind of person he is. But the way he explains things is he'll take a concept, and many professors will assume you know all the prerequisites. So they'll immediately get into it. And some people are going to be lost. Some people don't have that fundamental. He teaches as if you know nothing. He explains it in a way that if some random person walked into the class, they'll be able to understand it. So he makes it so simple, and he goes back over the fundamentals. And you just sit there and you're like, this is so easy. When is he going to get to the hard topics? Day 1, he doesn't do it. Day 2, he doesn't do it. Next day, he doesn't do it. Next day, he doesn't do it. The whole class goes by. And then I'm like, wait, I just learned everything and I didn't even realize it. Yeah. Because he made it so simple. It never felt like I was learning anything new because everything was so obvious. What a wonderful teacher. Someone who can teach you something without you even realizing it.
Yeah. We'll check it out as well. And before that, I would like to enter into Stanford episode, right? And how did you got into Stanford, and what was that process like? Maybe the people who are watching it also will be trying to get into Stanford, right? So maybe walk us through that process, and
I have a lot of advice, both for applications in general, actually, both for school applications and job applications, depending on where you're at. One thing about job applications is, when I became a founder and I started to hire engineers, my thought process completely changed. My hiring process is very interesting. We can go into that. But what I realized is, when I'm a founder, I want to hire people that work well with me, that are independent, that can get the job done. And now that I'm a founder, I know exactly the kind of person I want to hire. But when I was applying to jobs, or when I was a student, I sent in so many applications. And, I got rejected almost all the time, actually. It was very rare that I got one yes and I was able to have some internship or some opportunity. But the thing I realized is, when you reframe it and you're like, if I was a business owner, or if I was running this internship, who would I want to hire? Who
Yeah.
would be the most valuable person? Then it was very clear to me. Oh, if I want to demonstrate that I'm a good candidate to hire, I should build some projects.
Yeah.
Or if I want to work at a startup, let me build something that has users and makes money.
Yep.
Because let's say I'm going to work at a email company. I'm an email company, right?
Yeah.
So if I build some sort of email software and I give it to users and I get them to pay for it, and then I come to me and I go like, oh, hey, I'd like to work for your company. You're building an email assistant. I built this very niche feature and I got 50 people to pay $20 a month for it. Instantly, I'll hire you immediately. No problem. Because I know you understand customers,
Yep.
you understand product,
Yep.
you can make good product decisions, you know how to program. And with AI, you can learn all these things too.
Yep.
And even if you don't get the job, now you have these skills. And anybody will hire you in that situation. The other thing is having an audience.
Yep.
I mean, you know the value of an audience, but most people I talk to, that's the one thing that they miss. When I was hiring people, I
remember there was a tweet about you.
Exactly.
If you have a developer and you have 10,000 followers, something like that. Could you tell me more about that?
That was a little bit infamous, and so many people got upset with
Yeah.
it. But I don't regret saying that.
Yeah.
My policy, for those who don't know, is I have one prerequisite. You need to be an engineer. We're hiring engineers, but all you need is 10,000 followers on some platform, whatever platform it may be. And people were like, oh, you're hiring marketers, you're hiring dev relations. I said, no, I'm hiring engineers. And the reason I want 10,000 followers is it's not about the followers itself. I don't care if they don't need to post about the company. It's the process.
What's the process?
When I started posting online, I got a Twitter account, I got a LinkedIn account. I said, how do I get followers? How do I get attention? My mindset started to change. How do people respond to different content? How do you evoke emotion in people? How do you make people interact with something that you've created and make them feel something? That skill translates flawlessly from social media to product development. When I'm creating a piece of software, how do I make someone feel something? How do I make someone feel excited? If someone uses your product and they feel confused, or they don't understand it, or they feel some friction, they're going to cancel. That's the reality. Steve Jobs was the best at this. The best. He would obsess so much about how a customer would feel, how a user of Apple would feel. Apple right now, if you use an iPhone, it feels so simple. It's so basic. But if you look into Apple, they spent so much time obsessing over the length of each line, the shape of each curve, the colors, the widths. It feels so natural and so basic because they've done an excellent job. I'm nowhere even close to that. I'm trying to get better at this. But the skill that you develop by getting a lot of followers is empathy. The ability to understand how other people feel. That's what people don't realize. And everybody who has 10,000 followers will say, yeah, it was the best thing I did. I never regret doing that. Everybody should post more. But someone with 50 followers say, oh, you don't know what you're doing. What are you talking about? But I even talked to someone in my apartment. So we live very close to Y Combinator. We live around a 10-minute walk away.
Oh, the Boston also has Y Combinator? Or?
No, I was raised in Boston, but now I live in San Francisco.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And in our apartment building, I saw some guy sitting there. I said, oh, hey, what's your name? I just talked to random people. And he said, oh, I'm actually looking for a job here. I just moved. I said, oh, we're hiring people. Show me the stuff you built. And then she showed me. And then I said, okay, cool. My challenge to you is get 5,000 followers on Twitter. You just moved here, get 5,000 followers on Twitter. And he's actually from India.
Oh.
He wasn't Malayali, but I think he's from Mumbai, I think. And instantly he had a face. He's like, ooh, he said he felt disgusted. And he said, oh, I don't like social media. Social media is a waste of my time. I said, yeah, scrolling social media is a waste of your time. But posting on social media matters a lot. Because if you can get people to follow you, you have many listeners on this podcast. The reason is because they know that you're offering something of value. If I think about it. If I have almost anybody will have 100 followers, they might have 100 friends. That's maybe a big room full of people. But if you can have 10,000 followers who listen to you and who think that your words are valuable, that's a football stadium full of people. Imagine that. And it can be done within like a few months if you really put in effort. That's the power of the internet.
Yes.
If you ever look at 10,000 people, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
And so I have many friends who will say, "Oh, I'm looking for a new job, or I'm looking for a new position," and they have many followers, they have an audience, and instantly so many people will reach out and they'll say, "Yeah, I'll hire you," or "I know someone who's looking for engineers," or "Let me put you in contact with this accelerator, they might want it." Like, so many opportunities come your way. Now if I ever need help with anything, I'll post. Or if I'm looking for engineers, I made that post. I said, "Oh, we're looking for people with 10,000 followers." I got probably 20 people reaching out with that amount. And it's the value of an audience. It's, especially in the age of AI, anybody can write code. Anybody. If you have a basic technical understanding, you can write high quality software. That's not the problem anymore. The problem is attention.
Yes.
We're in an attention economy. Attention is the currency of the future. So people who can really understand that make excellent developers, at least at my stage of the company. We're small, so we're hiring founding engineers. So people need to have a very holistic understanding of our product, of making decisions. Maybe if we have like 100 people, we can hire someone who just writes code. That's okay. But if you're looking for a job, build projects, be the person that you'd want to hire. And get an audience. Because I guarantee you, if you get 10,000 followers and you post every day about the things that you're building, and you don't get a job, I'll hire you myself.
Makes sense.
It'll happen, no doubt.
Yeah, I think building the audience is something we talk about a lot in KPH podcast as well, because it's the distribution, right? Even if you launch a product, how do people find you, right? So, and one of the things, in the age of AI, anyone could create content, and right? It's like it's not longer a thing, but it's a matter of posting, getting out there, posting regularly, consistently, growing the following, right? So, I remember a reel of KPH went on to like around 500,000 yesterday, because just random hooks we find, and then we add it, then with the thing gone up, right? So, and I want to take, I totally resonate with everything you said, and that is exactly how people should be building products, building before even working on the thing, get an audience, then launch it, then it also adds up the whole thing, right? So, could you walk me through the Stanford?
Oh yeah,
that is the.
I'm sorry, you asked me multiple times, but Stanford, it's the same process applied actually. If I have a school and I'm looking for a student, I want to hire someone that has potential to do things that are great. I want to hire someone that has demonstrated an ability to learn, and someone who has covered the fundamentals. So obviously, you need a good grade in school. You need good test scores, right? So your academics need to be solid. You need to have a good understanding of that.
How much was yours, if you could share the numbers?
Yeah, I was valedictorian of my high school. I scored 1580 on the SAT.
I don't know what
that's. But, near perfect score. But the main thing that really pushed me through was my extracurriculars.
These internships and things you build, and all this added up.
Yeah, I was captain of the math team. I led the chess tournament at my school, but mainly it was robotics. Robotics took all my time. We went to the World Championships. And I was captain of the programming team, and our autonomous program ranked number 1 in the world at the Robotics World Championships.
And which year did you got into Stanford?
That was 2021. So
what was it? Do you remember the day you got the selection? What was that like?
Yes, actually. So I applied to 17 schools. 17
Ivy Leagues.
It's higher than most, actually. Most people will apply to like maybe 10, 11 schools. I think there's a limit of 20. At least on your comment, if they don't have to hear. But most of the schools I applied to were in the Boston area.
Because you're living there as Boston, right?
I want to live close. I love being close to my family. I want to stay close to home. MIT, all the Ivy League schools, all the local Massachusetts schools. But the farthest school really I applied to was maybe in Chicago. And then I was like, I don't want to go to California. It's too far away. It's too far. The only school that'll bring me to California is Stanford. So I'll just throw in an application. I spent, I think, only one day on that application, actually. I cut very close to the deadline. So the day before it's due, I spent the whole day working on that application. And yeah, I got into many of the schools. I was actually Stanford was the last one to come out. Up until that point, I thought I was going to Yale.
Yeah.
And it was good. And I had my Stanford letter come in, and I thought, okay, you know what, it's probably gonna not be good. And I opened it, and I started screaming. It was I started yelling and shouting and running downstairs, and instantly I was like, yeah, I'm going to Stanford, no problem, no doubt about it. It was a great decision. I actually really wanted to go to MIT. I thought I was very introverted. I was kind of a nerd. That's more aligned with MIT's culture.
Mm-hmm.
But Stanford's different in that they are extroverted. They're very entrepreneurial, and in hindsight, it was the best decision.
Oh.
I didn't even know what I was thinking.
Mm.
I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Again, I told you I thought it was unrealistic, so I wanted to go into software.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to Stanford, and it really helped me grow.
Mm.
It made me a much more complete person.
Yep.
And Stanford itself was very great in teaching the culture of entrepreneurship. That really was the big difference.
Mm.
One of my favorite classes at Stanford is called ETL, Entrepreneurial Thought Leaders.
Uh-huh.
It's a seminar where every Wednesday a tech leader comes in, usually a CEO.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Tan came in one
Wow.
time.
Y Combinator president, Gary Tan. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Y Combinator CEO. Sam Altman came one
Yes.
time.
OpenAI CEO. Yes.
Yeah. And my favorite talk actually was by Nikhil Vishwanathan. He's the CEO of Alchemy, which is a $10 billion crypto startup.
Yes.
And he came in and he told his story about his early life, how he was at Stanford, how he tried a lot of things and failed, how he left Stanford and continued to build projects, build companies. And for 10 years, he was working on things until he started Alchemy. And in 18 months from day one, he went from 0 to $10 billion. So people say, oh, this guy, he built a $10 billion company in a year and a half. This whole story is about like, I actually worked for 10 years with nothing before that overnight success moment. Many stories are like that. But the biggest thing for me was, that was a story I resonated with. I could see myself going down that path for the first time. I was never able to really identify with an entrepreneur like that before. He said, I built things, I got users quickly, I enjoyed engineering, I enjoyed creating things. He and I were very similar. So for the first time, I said, I can see this is a successful entrepreneur. I can see myself in him. I can see myself making the decisions that he made. So maybe entrepreneurship isn't that crazy. Maybe it's something realistic. And the way he talked about it is, and this is the reality. Yes, 99% of companies fail, but that's because only the 1% of the best succeed. It's like any sport, you know, if you're playing cricket or football, only the best will make it through. Yes, 99% of the people are going to fail, but consistently the 1% will win. It's exactly like that in startups. If you're a winner, if you outwork everybody else, if you make better decisions than everybody else, it doesn't matter what your idea is. It doesn't matter if you get unlucky. It doesn't matter what the market is. Yes, there's some luck in it, but successful people over a large enough time will always win.
Yes.
A great example of that is Elon Musk. He's built multiple companies, and every single problem on Earth, he's built a company to like address it. You know, renewable energy. He has Tesla. You want to become a multiplanetary species. He has SpaceX. You want to understand brain-computer interfaces. He has Neuralink. Even traffic, he built like the Boring Company. It's and. Controlling free speech online or social media, X, like it's absolutely amazing. Even AI, XAI, and he was actually one of the founders of OpenAI too. Some people don't remember, but this is a man who I look up to very deeply because he has a consistent track record of success, and it's very clear what his motive is. You know, he wants to drive humanity forward. He wants to solve problems that we're facing, and he just takes action and he makes decisions that are very independent. Especially at Tesla, a lot of people say, oh, this is not possible, this won't work, and he says, who said that? Let's prove it, let's actually try it. And oftentimes he's right. So I try to be a lot like him in that way. And the thing is, you could put someone like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs in the worst situation possible, the worst idea, the worst market, the worst luck, they'll still find a way to succeed. that's the reality of entrepreneurship. If you just work harder than everybody else, almost always you're going to win. And that's when that moment clicked for me. I said, oh, this is finally the thing for me. I feel like I'm a talented person. I feel like I have a lot of confidence in my abilities. I just never had a place or a system that was so purely meritocratic. And startups was really that for me. I said, I can finally build something. I can show people my skills. I can show people my decision making. I have full control.
Yep.
And that was something I really liked. When I worked in companies, you're working with a big team. You have to listen to your boss. You have to work within a system. But with startups, if you succeed, it's because of you. If you fail, it's because of you. It's like chess.
Yes.
I like chess because with chess, if you lose, it's your fault.
Yeah.
There's no luck involved. There's some luck in startups, of course. Of course, there's luck in everything in that regard. But for the most part, it's just a skill-based game.
Wait. നിങ്ങൾ ഈ പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് കണ്ട് ഗസ്റ്റായിട്ട് ഇൻറ്ററാക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ താല്പര്യം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മളെ കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്. വാട്സപ്പ് നമ്പർ നമ്മൾ താഴെ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. Now back to the podcast. Before we get into more topic, if you are watching this for the first time, make sure you subscribe the channel and like and comment as well. And this is Allen of Friday email, 22-year-old Stanford dropout. Why? Yeah, no, the podcast itself will tell you more about him. Yeah, tune into the episode. So now we are at the Stanford. You got into the dream college for every person. Even me, this is a best college, dream college to be in. And eventually you dropped out as well. But I would like to know about the Stanford experience. What is that 1 year, 2 year, 3 like? And what you think is makes Stanford?
Yeah, Stanford is like a dream, honestly. It looks like a resort almost. It's the most beautiful campus in the world. It's very big, and it's really the birthplace of Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley came out of Stanford.
Yep.
And my favorite thing about Stanford is really how deeply integrated the Silicon Valley startup culture is. Everybody there lives and breathes entrepreneurship. And everybody there is somehow driven into tech. So I'm a tech guy. I applied for computer science. So that was my degree. But even people who are doing English or history or math, they all feel the pull of computer science. You can't resist it. So somehow they'll integrate tech or they'll be part of it. And they understand that tech is the future. It's the way that our world is progressing. So at Stanford, they really understand that. But Stanford itself is, a very different experience. I had some struggles, some successes, some really cool learnings.
Yep.
So actually, when I first got into Stanford, I mentioned I was a very introverted type, which is why I liked the idea of MIT. And so I struggled in the beginning. All my life, I've had people around me that I've known, I've been friends with. I never really had to put any effort into making friends. I just would have some people around me. But when I got to Stanford the first time, I didn't know anybody. It's the first time I was in a place where I knew nobody at all. And I struggled to meet new people, to make friends. I did a bad job. If I could do it all over again, I'd put a lot more effort into that. I actually cared a lot about my academics, my schoolwork. It was the wrong decision.
You are a padippi mode, not a kind of thing, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've been there and done that. I feel you.
Yeah, of course. It's a very common experience. And actually there were a lot of entrepreneurship clubs on campus. But the thing is about Stanford is it's very exclusive, even within the school. Once you got in, to get into these clubs, there's multiple rounds of interviews. The acceptance rates are so low. Everything you have to apply for, and everything's so exclusive. Stanford students really chase exclusivity. And, after that Nikhil Vishwanathan talk in my second year of Stanford, I was like, okay, I want to get into startups now. I want to get into building things. But all the clubs are so exclusive. And at these entrepreneurship clubs, they don't get together and build things. They have fireside chats with leaders, or they might have events or speaker series or networking sessions. But I was like, it's all a waste, actually. You just want to get together with people and build things.
Yes.
Really get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
And the weird thing was at Stanford, there was nothing like that. It didn't exist.
Really?
So there were some clubs.
Yeah.
There's a club called Friends and Family. There's an entrepreneurship club called Basis that started to do some like hacker hours.
Yeah.
But they all got canceled.
Oh.
And I think, when was this? Around Christmas time, 2023. Christmas 2023. I was thinking, like, there's no place to go and just build things with people.
Yeah.
And as much as I don't want to create something new and just add to all this, I feel like I have to. So I created something called the Stanford Startup Society.
Wow.
And so it was the opposite way of thinking, where instead of having an application-based process, I let everybody in.
Yeah.
With the idea that the people who are really committed are going to stay. And the people who are there just to talk, they'll come to one meeting, maybe two, but never three.
Yeah.
Never three. And it worked. What I did was, like, I need some attention. I need to get some hype built up around this.
Yeah.
Because, again, I don't want to build something exclusive, but Stanford kids, like, love exclusivity.
Yeah.
It's like a fly to honey. If you show them something that seems exclusive, they will come.
Yeah, like invite only, like KPH community say invite only, like for that same reason, right?
Yeah.
Go on. And also one more thing, this KPH hackathon coming in Kerala, and we just, as you said, come together, build stuff. That same thing we are doing.
Hackathons are the best.
Yeah.
I've met almost all my friends at hackathons.
If you are in here in September 19th, unfortunately you're going back,
I'm
right?
going back, yeah.
But we have this all Kerala. We bring the top talents from across Kerala. Who is watching podcasts, who's in our community, who's might be in school, anywhere, irrespective of where they are, which college are they are, coming to the building a product and launching it on production on Monday.
My recommendation, if you're in the audience, do it.
Yes.
Just take an attempt. Doing hackathons are some of the best decisions I've ever made. So
yeah. Maybe I think back to the conversation. Yeah.
Of course. So what I did was I said, I had this club, Stanford Startup Society. It was Christmas, and I sent an email to. I got like 200 Stanford mailing lists, and I joined all of them because to send emails you need to be part of them. I joined all the mailing lists, and I sent an email to all these to all the mailing lists. And
what did you send?
Just so my idea was I need to let people know that this club exists and get people to join, because if only 2 people show up, they're gonna go, oh, no one's here, they're gonna leave. It's the cold start problem, right? So how do you get an audience? How do you get a group of people together without one already existing? So what I said was, we're creating Stanford Startup Society. This is a club for the top entrepreneurs. It's a very private and secret group, and we're having multiple rounds of applications. You need to send in an application. So people sent in applications, and I accepted everybody.
So you just kept it, like invite only, all these things, so that they feel the kind of thing, right?
Yeah. And so I actually launched something similar earlier. I said, oh, hey, I'm just building with friends, come together. I got 4 people interested, and they all left. I said, oh, this is exclusive, and I sent it around Christmas. You know how many applications I got?
How many?
600.
Damn.
600. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So again, that's that skill, right? It's my first time actually developing that skill. But how do you design things in a way that people will react to it? So that went very well. We had a big launch. We got a space. I ordered some pizza. That was actually that was the beginning of my email problems.
Oh.
Because I joined 200 mailing lists. I got emails from all of those mailing lists, and I spent hours. Sometimes I spent more time in my email than I did in classes.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, I somehow managed it, and I started this club. We got together, and it was very simple. We'd come in the beginning, we'd do some introductions, say who everybody is, what they're planning to build, what they're working on. You sit down for an hour, work on things, take a 10-minute break, work for another hour, have a food break, work for 1 more hour, and then demo what you built. Everybody demos.
Yes.
So you can't just come there and talk the whole time, because when demos come around, you're going to be embarrassed.
Yes. In KPH meetup, we have something called, you cannot bring pitch decks or slides. You have to come with a demo.
Yeah.
And if someone comes with a pitch deck, we just
shame them.
So that's something we do in KPH as well. It just, when you're saying it, it becomes a whole, connecting the dots, I feel,
And you put people in an environment where they're forced to be uncomfortable a little bit. That's always the best. You want to be a little bit uncomfortable, where you're saying, oh, this is not good. Demo it anyways.
Yeah.
And almost always, if you think something's not good, other people will disagree.
Yeah.
Even my own company, my own story, I don't think I'm that impressive, but sometimes people go like, oh yeah, I'd love to work with you. You seem very cool. You're a role model. I'm like, what's going on? So other people will often view your accomplishments or your products or the things that you've created in a very different way that you, the creator,
Make things
look
about
at those things.
Makes sense. So maybe okay. So tell me about the Dropout. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember in my college, I used to watch the Stanford commencement speech of Steve Jobs, and I used to tell my friends, "Oh, I will be dropout like Steve Jobs," and I didn't drop out, but you went dropout as well. So I am just very very curious to see you took all efforts to go to Stanford. That's a dream school for every entrepreneur out there, and then you dropped out. And was it to replicate Steve Jobs, or what is the math behind it?
No, actually, it was a little bit out of necessity. It's a little bit later in the story, actually. I applied to Y Combinator and I got in. That's when I dropped out.
Oh.
So there's actually a few more stories before that, actually. One also, some great thing about Stanford is it's because it's like the center of Silicon Valley. All the coolest people in Silicon Valley are constantly on Stanford's campus.
Yeah.
So many celebrities, the governor of California, different heads of state. We had Sam Altman, as you mentioned. Sundar Pichai even came by. So every time these people come around, I make some effort to meet them. And it was actually a continuation of my Stanford story. As I mentioned, I struggled to make friends. I was very introverted. But at the same time, I was a very confident person. I'm confident in my skills, confident in my abilities. And I feel like many people may resonate with that. As in, you're confident in yourself, but when it comes to seizing opportunities, sometimes you might have fear, or it might be hard to ask people for things, or you're scared of failure, or you embrace perfection. And my whole process with that was, let me look at the things I'm afraid of. Oh, I'm not afraid of this anymore. I'm not afraid of this. What am I actually afraid of? And I thought about it, and I realized, I'd be afraid to walk up to someone random and talk to them. If someone's eating food by themselves, will I sit down with them and talk to them? I'm too scared. So there was a lot of fear in my life. My opinion is fear is a useless emotion. Everybody should seek to eliminate all fear from their lives. Fear only holds you back. Most emotions have a good side and a bad side. Fear, I don't think, has any good side.
How did you remove your fear from your life?
I said, okay, I'm scared to sit down with someone random. So I would often sit by myself in the dining hall. It's very common to do in college. You get your food, you sit down, you just eat. And I was thinking one day, someone walked by and I said, it'd be great if that person sat down with me. But obviously no one ever comes and sits down with you randomly. So one day I had my food and I was thinking about that. And I said,
what if you were the one who...
because if I sat down with you, I think, I'm bothering you. I don't want to disrupt your meal, or maybe you're doing something. I don't want to do that. But on the other side, I say, if someone sat down with me, that'd be very nice. So there's some mismatch here. So I said, let me try it out. So I asked some guy, he's sitting by himself. I said, hey, can I sit down with you? And his face immediately lit up. He's like, yeah, sure. And he's very quiet, very shy. But I started talking to him, and then he opened up. He was such an interesting person. He's a wonderful person to talk to. And immediately my life changed. Because I was like, okay, this is actually something I could do. That wasn't so scary. That wasn't so bad. Let me sit down with someone else. And I had so many stories. I talked to people. And the more you talk to people, the more you have conversations, the more interesting you become. Because if I talk about 50 different things and people always react really well to 2 or 3 stories, those are the things that you should talk about.
Makes sense.
One thing is, people really like that I was a beekeeper.
What is that? You had a bee?
Beehives. I have beehives and I manage them. And people really enjoy talking about bee society, bee social dynamics, bee hierarchies, bee politics.
There's bee politics as well.
Oh my goodness. It's like the French Revolution. They have coups, they have civil wars, they have...
these are the honeybees, or the bees we are talking about.
Honeybees. Yeah. They're very intelligent creatures, actually. They have a very intricate social hierarchy. But see, immediately you come up with questions, right? So I would never realize that, this hobby that I do is that interesting. But every time I said it to someone, they say, wait, that's so interesting. I want to learn more about that. And that came from just experience. And so one day, it was October 1st, 2023, the day my life changed. I was at an event as part of the church at Stanford, and I was talking to one of my friends and saying, yeah, I do this. I sit down with people and I talk to them. And the priest came by. He said, oh, that's a wonderful story. That reminds me of a challenge that my friend did, where every day in a month, he tried to hear no. He tried to get rejected.
Oh.
He tried to fail every day.
On that month, on that day, on that.
No, he said, one of my friends, he did this.
Oh.
And on October 1st, he told me this. And immediately I saw the value because I said, okay, if I hear no every day, that'll remove my fear. I won't be afraid of things anymore. And it's October 1st, so it's the perfect time to start. So I don't know. So you're releasing this on Onam, right? So
Yeah.
start of September. So I recommend if anybody's watching this, try this.
Yeah.
Every day for the rest of September,
Yeah.
try to hear no. Your goal is to ask people for things over and over again. If they hear yes, you failed.
Yeah.
You need to hear no.
Okay, interesting. So you have to find the ideas where people will reject or
Yeah.
propose that girl you ever wanted to.
Yeah.
All these things you do.
Few rules.
Yeah.
Few rules. One thing, you can't ask for something that's going to hurt the other person. As in, I can't say, oh, can you give me your watch? Or can you
No.
give me money? Or can I, if you go to some place and you say, oh, can I have free food? Don't beg. Don't do something that will hurt the other person. Try to do something that will benefit them. Like, hey, I'm going for a walk around the lake. Will you come with me? Or where are you going? Oh, I'm going to this event. Can I come with you? You know, those sorts of things. Or can I sit down with you? Will you jump into this fountain with me? Experiences that will actually bring a smile to other people's faces. Try to ask for those things. If you're struggling to find that, you can feel free to ask for freebies or whatever.
Yeah.
But I said, okay, that's my challenge. I need to ask for things, and there needs to be a punishment. So my punishment was, if I failed to hear no, I need to take a cold shower. Ice cold. I hate cold showers.
Oh.
So day one, I leave that event. I said, okay, it's 5 p.m. No problem. I'll be able to find a way to say no. I'm going to an event at my dorm. And I sit down, and I'm sitting in the front row by myself on a couch, and many people are around me. I say, okay, no one's sitting here. I know a way to hear no. And I turn around, and I find some guy behind me. I say, hey, will you come sit next to me? He said, yeah, okay, no problem. I was like, oh, that didn't, okay, I got yes. I went to some girl. She said, surely some girl's going to say no. I said, will you come sit next to me? She said, yeah, okay, no problem. I was like, oh, my goodness. Then I found someone sitting all the way in the back. And I said, hey, will you come sit with me in the front? They said, yeah, sure, no problem. And I'm like, this challenge is harder than I thought. I keep getting yeses.
Yeah.
This is so strange.
Yeah, and you had to take cold shower as well because of that.
Yeah. If it hit midnight.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I need to hear no before the end of the day. So the people that were running the event, I told them, can you change the music to Drake? And they're like, okay, sure, no problem. And it went on and on and on. Yes. I didn't hear any no's.
Oh.
Like 10 different things I might have asked.
You should come to Kerala. you should have got min nose there.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But you'd be surprised actually. Even here, it's hard to hear no's. But what one thing I eventually did was I went to one of the RAs, the resident assistants, I think. They run the whole dorm, and they're like the leaders, and they have a meeting every week where they make decisions and stuff. It's private. So I said, surely I hear a no. I went up and I said, hey, you have these dorm meetings every Monday. Can I come to that? And they said, you know what? Normally I'd say no, but I think I can sneak you in for a meeting. And I was like, oh my goodness, wow. All these things that I want, I'm getting.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I just want something, I'll ask for it. And either I'll get what I want or I hear the no. I can't lose. It's not possible to lose here. Eventually, I went to something and I said, oh, hey, there's this group chat. Can I join in? And they're like, oh, sorry, it's for only members. I was like, thank you. And he's like, oh, this guy's weird. But it was like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And I finally heard my first no. So that was immediately I learned something. Most people, when they ask for things, they hear yes and they're happy.
Yeah.
Good. They hear no and it hurts.
Yeah.
It makes you feel uncomfortable. There's like a physical pain that you feel.
Yeah.
Or they could do nothing and then nothing's going to happen. So most of them choose that option. They say, oh, I'm not going to ask. I don't want to, whatever. For me, if I hear yes, I get what I want. If I hear no, it's actually better than hearing yes because I finally complete the challenge.
Yeah.
And if I do nothing, now that's the worst option. So as long as I ask someone a question, as long as I take the action,
Yeah.
I win. So me being happy is no longer dependent on what you say.
Yeah.
It's whether I actually ask the question.
Yeah.
It's simply a mindset change. But now you control how often you win.
Yes.
The more you ask, the more you win.
Damn, this is like must try, and to those who are watching it, give this a try and let us know in the comments below. Yeah, and over to you.
Yeah.
And
Day 2 was very interesting too. I was walking out of class and there were a lot of people in suits standing around. They looked very old and powerful and scary. And I thought immediately, oh, this is someplace I wouldn't belong. I'm not sure I would fit in here. And that's the trigger. When you think, oh, I won't fit in here. Oh, I'm not welcome here. Oh, I shouldn't do that.
that's like a resistance in your head. Like, it's like a universal resistance.
It's a social concept
that comes to your head.
It's a social concept that you have that holds you back from doing things. Oh, it's too much.
Yeah.
Whenever you hear that, ignore it. That's your cue.
Yeah.
That's your trigger. So listen for that voice in your head
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, it'll be too much. Oh, I shouldn't do it," and then do the opposite.
Yeah.
So in this case, oh, these people look interesting, but I'm sure I won't be allowed there.
Yeah.
Now it's an opportunity for failure.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I go in and I talk to them. Notice how I said opportunity for failure.
Yeah.
When you try to seek successes, it's hard because everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
When you try to seek failure, it's actually very easy. In that you see so many opportunities. But what will happen is you will fail to fail.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you're going to fail at failing,
Damn.
meaning that
If you got
inadvertently you found success.
Yeah. Oh. Damn. I mean, this whole concept is really good, and I'm sure I'll be rewatching this particular part as well. And I think this is like a universal resistance in our head. Then how do you work towards it? Then there is like a universal assistance that comes in, right?
Yeah.
And this is a shout out to my friend Shad, who said this concept to me, and that really changed me as well. And this something sounds similar as well, right? Is it? Is a universal resistance and assistance
Yeah.
comes in, and as you fight towards the thing, and there is like assistance from you supporting, right? So
Exactly.
makes sense. And tell me more about now to the next event where YC happens, and what was that like in Stanford?
Yeah, actually, even before that,
Yeah.
it was all the people that I met.
Yeah.
Right, this is how I met the CEO of Google, Sam Altman.
Yeah.
Because I would go to these events, and maybe Sam Altman might be speaking there, and I think, okay, how do I meet him?
Yeah.
So let me. So after a month went by, I became very good at rejections. I ran out of things that I was afraid of.
Wow.
So if someone tells me no, or oh, I get in trouble or whatever, doesn't matter. Nothing can affect me now.
Yeah.
I am like rock solid. It's the same thing like when you exercise. When you exercise, it hurts, you're sore a little bit.
Yeah.
But you get stronger, and eventually it stops hurting. The same way with
You build that muscle of rejection kind of thing,
Yeah.
right?
I can ask anybody for anything,
Wow.
like no problem. And if they say no, okay, good, happy, because I got my no for the day.
Yeah.
So I'm an almost unstoppable force. And this helps so much as a founder.
Oh yes.
as well.
Oh yes.
You
This
can-
is like massive.
Yeah, you can take opportunities that no one else will even look at.
Yeah.
You just go after them, and you succeed so often as well.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm running out of challenges. I'm running out of hard things to do. So I had these events. Like Gary Tan came by.
Yeah. Get it in for the audience. Is the CEO of Y Combinator, and
Yeah.
make sure to check it out. Yeah.
So Y Combinator is legendary
Yeah.
in Silicon Valley. They created companies like Stripe,
Yeah.
Airbnb, Coinbase,
Yeah.
Instacart.
And there are like I did interview I think 4 or 5 YC founders
Yeah.
and from Kerala. So there's like a Buy Me Coffee. There's like Chatwood. There is Soko. These are all products built from Kerala.
Yeah.
And I think there is as you see this, there will be more products from Kerala, and because the Mallu power is their level power.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of respect for Y Combinator and Gary Tan. So he came to speak, and he sat in the front row. So I was going to find a seat, and I said, oh, it'd be really nice to sit with Gary Tan, but he's sitting there. I shouldn't do it. There
Yeah.
it is. There it is. So I went to the front, and I said, what if I just sit down with them? What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Tell me no? Good. So be it.
Yeah.
So I sat down right next to him in the front row for the speakers.
Oh.
And he was such a nice person. I said, hey, Gary, how are you? He was, oh, I'm doing good. How are you? I just asked him a few questions about Y Combinator. He's so nice. Then I asked him, hey, can I take a picture with you? Yeah, sure. I still have that photo on my phone.
Well.
I think I posted that.
Yeah, I think I saw it on X as well.
Yeah.
I saw one with Sundar Pichai. I saw one with Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, and this guy is like literally with every. And have you been with Elon Musk? I think not yet. Elon Musk.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's the conversation you have with them? You know, is there some random, or do you ask any specific questions over there or anything?
I'm not very good at that actually, because of what to ask.
Yeah.
It's always very hard. So oftentimes I'll maybe ask them a question, or maybe I'll ask them for a photo, but almost always I'll ask them for something that they might say no to. So for example, Gary gave his talk. I talked to him, I took a picture, he gave his talk, and afterwards he went to another side class and we had a discussion. Eventually people kept leaving. I was like, why are you, because class was over and he said, I can stay for longer. People kept leaving. I was like, why are you leaving? This is Gary 10. Eventually it's just me and a few friends. And I told him I'm doing this rejection challenge. He says, oh, what kind of things do you ask for? And I said, for example, can you add me on LinkedIn right now?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my goodness, is this like a psyop? Are you playing some mind trick on me? Okay, sure, you can have it. And immediately my classmates are like, what is going on? How could you ask that? And how did you succeed?
Yeah.
And so it was my mindset where if I ask Gary 10 to add me on LinkedIn, if I'm looking for a yes, I won't ask him because he's going to say no.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking for him to say no, now I'll ask. And surprise, he said yes.
Yeah.
So he added me on LinkedIn.
Wow.
I took a photo with him. I posted that on LinkedIn and got some reactions. It was cool.
Yeah.
But an opportunity came out of that. A few months later, he said, oh, I'm hosting a Cinco de Mayo event. For those that don't know, it's like a Mexican holiday, May 5th.
Oh.
At my house in San Francisco. Here's some tickets to attend. Because
Oh.
I was connected with him, I had access to this.
Yeah.
So I applied, I got in,
Yeah.
and I went there, and I saw Gary again. I said, hey, Gary, how are you? And he's like, good. And he's like, he didn't recognize me,
Yeah.
but I said, oh, I'm in the, what is it? I'm in the W25 batch. And he said, W25? We're only in summer 24. Oh, I see. Because I basically told him like, oh, hey, we're the members of the next batch, the future batch.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, I went up and he said, yeah, we're in YC. We're in the next batch. And he said,
But the YC is not open yet then, right?
yeah, it didn't even open yet. So he got confused and he said, oh, I see what you mean. We actually got in even before that because they announced a fall batch.
Yeah. I think you were in winter 24, right?
Fall 24.
Fall 24 batch YC.
So it was summer 24. The next one was supposed to be winter 25. But in the middle, they announced a fall batch. So we actually got into that one.
Whoa.
So what I said was not early enough.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But I took a photo with him and I instantly posted on Twitter and said, hey, I met Gary 10.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in my comments, people were like, Peter Thiel. Oh, Peter Thiel's in the background. I'm like, what do you mean? I look in the picture. And in the background, in the middle of me and Gary, is Peter Thiel having a conversation.
Yeah, Peter Thiel, for the audience, is the founder of PayPal and part of the PayPal mafia, co-founders with Elon Musk on a lot of things as well.
One of the first investors in Facebook too.
Yes, first investors in Facebook
He
as well.
runs Founders Fund, which is a VC firm that is one of the top VC firms in the world.
Next level guy. Make sure you check it out. Billionaire. Yeah. Okay.
Brilliant man.
Yeah.
And yeah, I went up to him and he gave a talk. He's actually a much more scary guy than Gary 10. Gary's an absolute
Chill guy.
yes, such a sweet person. Like, was so kind. Peter Thiel is a little bit formidable, but I still went up to him and said, "Oh, hey, can I have a photo?" I got my photo. It was great.
You didn't talk anything else to him.
His security made me move on. He said, "Hey, don't talk to him." I actually tried talking to him, and his security's like, "No."
Oh.
And a similar thing happened with Sundar Pichai. Sundar Pichai was my craziest story.
Oh.
My goodness, I heard that Sundar Pichai was coming to an event at the Stanford Business School. So I said, okay, how can I use my rejection muscle here? How can I find a way to fail? Or how can I use this ability that I have? Because I am resilient to failure.
Yeah.
Failure doesn't affect me. So if there's some opportunity where there's a lot of different failures, it's going to wash everybody away except me.
Yeah.
So I want to put myself in those opportunities because that's my skill now.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, this looks like, because I'm not invited to this event. So before the event, I started asking people, oh, do you have an invite to this event? Do you have an invite to this? And finally, one person said, oh, yeah, I'm part of this. I said, oh, cool. Why don't we meet in the morning? I didn't tell him that I don't have an invite.
Yeah.
I just found him. I said, yeah, let's meet. So I met him in the tent and we had some conversation. I look around. I say, okay, people have these badges. Let me try to get a badge. So I went up. I said, hey, can I have one of the badges for this event? And they say, oh, what's your name? And I say, yeah, my name is Allen Naliath. He's like, oh, I don't see you here. I'm like, okay, no problem. I don't have a badge. So I have to find some way to get into the event. There's 8 entrances.
Yeah.
I tried getting into the entrance, each entrance 3 times. Like I made 20 plus attempts to try to get in every time. Like, oh, I have someone in there wants to talk to me. Oh, here's a phone. Someone left it outside.
You tried every trick in the
Every
playbook.
trick in the book. No. So I had maybe 10, 12 people with me who were trying to meet Sundar Pichai. They all left. After like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, they left.
You were persistent. You were like consistent.
Yeah, Sundar Pichai and actually Jerome Powell. Some of you might not know. He's the chairman of the Federal Reserve.
SEC, right?
Yeah. Federal Reserve of the United States. So he's very big in economics.
Oh, that's another person. Okay,
Yeah. And he was also speaking at this event. So I said, I need to find a way to talk to these people. And so eventually I walked around the building. And at the back, I saw some guy standing in a suit. I said, okay. And people said, oh, that's probably security. You should hide. I'm like, hide? I'm going to go talk to this guy. What's the worst that he can do? Tell me no? Great.
Yeah.
So I went and talked to him. Turns out he's not a security guy. He said, I'm a law student. And I know that this is the exit that Jerome Powell is going to come out of. So he's going to be here. And I was like, thank you. See, that's the insight. If I didn't do the rejection challenge, I would never have talked to him.
Yeah.
So I told my friends, he's going to come out here. We just have to wait. So after some time, he gave his address. He came out and we waited and he came out the back door. I said, hey, Mr. Powell, can I have a photo? Yeah, sure. And I asked him, here's $100 bill. Here's a marker. Can you sign that bill for me?
Whoa.
And then he said, oh, I can't sign it, but I'll take it as a donation. But it was cool. It was really great. He was a wonderful person.
Yeah.
He left and Sundar Pichai was now talking. So I said, okay, I need to find a way.
And you're still outside as well.
Still outside.
Yeah.
I didn't find a way to get in. He was talking and eventually he ended his talk. And then now I'm a little bit worried because I'm like, will he exit out the front, the back, the side? Because I know Jerome Powell is supposed to come here, but where will Sundar Pichai be? Because I don't see any cars. Maybe I'm wrong. And I've been waiting here I got there at 7:30 a.m. before the event. There's a pre-event, there's like some breakfast, there's some networking, and then there's these talks. I got there 7 a.m. Currently it's like 2, 3 p.m.
Oh.
Whole day I was there just waiting in the heat for a chance to meet Sundar Pichai.
Whoa.
And now I start worrying. I was like, okay, which exit will he come out of? I need to go just get a photo. And the event ends. 5 minutes pass, 10 minutes pass, 15 minutes pass. He's not there. I'm like, oh my goodness, I probably missed him. Maybe he's inside. Let me try getting in. Now that the event's done, the security is fine. So I just walk in. I walk in, I look around, I'm like, well, let me go on stage. I go on stage and I see there's a backstage. So I walk in, go through some doors, and I'm going down the halls, looking in the rooms. And eventually I find a room and I walk in and there's some people talking. Sundar Pichai is there. In the same room as me, the CEO of Google. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I just wait there. I try to be a little bit quiet. And then I see security. They're going like, they start pointing at me. I'm like, oh boy, I'm in trouble. But I'm confident, you know? So I can try to use that confidence somehow. So the security starts talking to me and I say, I just need a delay till Sundar Pichai finishes talking so I can see where he's going. Yeah. And they say, yeah, you need to leave. You're not a part of this. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm a student here. They say, you don't have credentials to be here. And I take my Stanford ID. I'm like, here's my ID because it's happening on Stanford campus. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, this ID is not going to work here. Yeah. Come with me. I'm like, okay. And she takes me out that back entrance, the one where I met Jerome Powell. Yeah. And she's about to close the door. And I put my foot in the door just to see. And she's like, remove your foot from the door. And then I move my other foot. And she's like, you need to move your other foot too. You can't go keep this door open. I was like, okay. And then Sundar Pichai starts walking towards the exit. I'm like, gotcha. Okay. I move my foot. I stand there. And she's like, yeah, he's coming this way. You better not talk to him. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to leave. So she's like, hey, you have to stay here. I'm like, I'm just going to go home. So I walk down the road. Sundar Pichai comes out. He's walking with the security. And as he walks near me, his security comes, that person comes, they start taking me away. They start pulling me away. And he sees this. And he saw what happened inside, I think, too. And he's like, hey, stop.
Oh, Sundar saw you, right?
Sundar Pichai.
Yeah.
He says, hey, stop. You just want a photo, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, no problem. Here, come. You can have a photo with me. Yeah. I was like, thank you. Because this is the second time I'm meeting Sundar Pichai. The first time this was my second day at Stanford. I was a freshman. School has not even started yet. Yeah. Class has not even started. I'm still moving in. And I'm with some new group of friends. And we're walking by. Everybody's wearing masks because this is still COVID time. And we're walking into a restaurant, and far away, many, like maybe 100 meters away, 150 meters away, maybe 200, I don't know. Sundar Pichai is just sitting there. Not Sundar Pichai, some guy is sitting there in a mask. And one of my friends says, "That's Sundar Pichai." I'm like, I can't even see that person. What do you mean? That's a man in a mask eating dinner with his family. What are you talking about? He's like, "That's Sundar Pichai. I know. He's my hero. I have a photo of him on my ceiling. I look at it every day when I go to bed." I'm like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "That's Sundar Pichai." And then they're saying, "Okay, are you sure?" He's like, "No." And then they're like, "Oh, so who's going to talk to him? What if it's not him?" And they're like, "You know what? It's okay. We'll just go inside." And I'm standing there like, if that is actually Sundar Pichai and I miss my opportunity to talk to him, I'm going to be so upset.
Yeah.
I'll go. I'll do it. And my friend's like, "Okay, great. Thank you." So I go and I walk up to this man wearing a mask and sunglasses.
Yeah.
I still don't know if it's him. And I just walk up and I say, "Are you who I think you are?" And then he says, "Yeah." And he takes off his glasses. It's Sundar Pichai.
Wow.
My goodness. And he said, "Yeah, here's my family." His daughter actually is in my class at Stanford.
Damn.
So he's there to drop her off. And I asked him, "Oh, this is great. Can I have a photo?" He's like, "Oh, I had a long day. I'm tired. I'm going to say no." And I was like, "Okay, no problem." So I didn't get a photo.
Yeah.
And for years, I told people I met Sundar Pichai, but I didn't get a photo. All I have is a tiny, blurry photo of him sitting really far away.
Yeah.
So this second opportunity, I worked so hard just to try to get that photo that I've wanted for years.
Yeah, makes sense. Wow, this is like an അടിപൊളി സ്റ്റോറി. KPH കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയിലുള്ള പല ഫൗണ്ടേഴ്സും പറയുന്നത് പല പ്രൊഡക്റ്റും ഓവർ ദ വീക്കെൻഡ് പ്രൊജക്റ്റായിട്ട് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. ഫണ്ണായിട്ട് ശനിയും ഞായറായിരുന്നു ബിൽഡ് ചെയ്ത് മൺഡേ ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്യുക എന്നൊരു ആക്ടിവിറ്റി തന്നെയാണ് പല ഫൗണ്ടേഴ്സും ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. അത് റിപ്ലിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് KPH ഹാക്കത്തോണിൻ്റെ ഇൻറ്റൻഷൻ. ക്യാൻ യു ബിൽഡ് $1,000 per month ജനറേറ്റിംഗ് പ്രൊഡക്ട്സ് ഫ്രം കേരള? AI വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. തിങ്സ് ഹാവ് ബിക്കം really ഈസിയർ. നൗ ഇറ്റ്സ് എ മാറ്റർ ഓഫ് ലോഞ്ചിങ് ദി പ്രൊഡക്ട്സ് ആൻഡ് സ്കെയിലിംഗ് ഇറ്റ്. KPHൻ്റെ മറ്റൊരു ഇവൻറ്റ്സ് എല്ലാം പോലെ ഇത് ഇൻവൈറ്റ് ഓൺലി ഹാക്കത്തോണാണ്. എക്സ്ട്രീം ക്യൂറേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സീരിയസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാരെ മാത്രമാണ് നമ്മൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. ആ ഫൗണ്ടേഴ്സ് ബിൽഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് നെക്സ്റ്റ് 3 months $1,000 per month ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ എന്നുള്ളതാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ചലഞ്ച്. നമ്മുടെ ഹാക്കത്തോൺ കഴിയുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റായിട്ട് ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്യുക. ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ആ റിസോഴ്സസ് ഫ്രം ലോഞ്ചിങ് ടു ജനറേറ്റിംഗ് ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഡോളർ ഫ്രം ദി ഇൻ്റർനെറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ഫസ്റ്റ് $1 to $10, $10 to $100, $100 to $1,000 per month. ആ ഒരു സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ബൈ സ്റ്റെപ്പ് സ്റ്റേജസ് ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യുക. അത് ഫ്രം ദ മെൻറ്റേഴ്സ് ഫ്രം KPH ആണ് നമ്മൾ എനേബിൾ ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുന്നത്. KPH ഹാക്കത്തോണായിട്ട് കൊളാബറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ താല്പര്യമുള്ളവർക്ക് നമ്മളെ കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്. ഫീൽ ഫ്രീ ടു റീച്ച് അസ് ഔട്ട്. ഹാക്കത്തോൺ ലിങ്ക് ഈസ് ഇൻ ദ ബയോ ആൻഡ് സീ യു സൂൺ. നമ്മൾ ലാസ്റ്റ് ഒരു 1 hour ആയിട്ട് അല്ലെൻ്റെ ജേണി ഷെയർ ചെയ്തു. സ്റ്റാൻഫോർഡിലെത്തി. സ്റ്റാൻഫോർഡ് എന്താ പറയുക, അവിടെ വലിയ ആൾക്കാരെ മീറ്റ് ചെയ്തു. ആൻഡ് അവിടെ റിജക്ഷൻ ചാലഞ്ചസ് ആൻഡ് കുറേ ലേണിങ്സ് അവിടെ എത്തി. ദെൻ ബെസ്റ്റ് ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് പാർട്ട് ഈസ് സ്റ്റാൻഫോർഡ് ഡ്രോപ്പ് ഔട്ട്. ആ ഒരു സ്റ്റേജിലേക്ക് എത്താൻ എന്തായിരുന്നു? വാട്ട് മെയ്ഡ് യു ടു ഡ്രോപ്പ് ഔട്ട്? ആ ഒരു സ്റ്റോറി.
Again, like many things at Stanford, it was talking to an entrepreneur, learning from them.
Yeah.
That was really my main experience. Seeing all these entrepreneurs talking. That's the thing that Stanford offers that no other school will offer. I went on a walk, actually, as part of that class, ETL, I told you about, where all those speakers come in. And it said, the person running ETL actually runs a startup accelerator.
Oh.
So he has many portfolio companies. So he said, "I'll bring my portfolio companies and we can have some students. And we'll go for a walk through San Francisco." And I started talking to a founder and I told him, I worked at Amazon these past 2 years. So this is going into my 3rd year at Stanford. So
you were working as internship on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in high school, I had 3 internships.
Yeah.
And in college, I spent 2 years at Amazon.
Wow.
Actually, the Amazon was very interesting because the first year, I had a boss who was very hands-off. He said, "Just build a solution, figure it out, do whatever you want." So me and 2 other interns, we built something really great. And we had full control of the product. We removed some features, we added some features, and it ended up working really well. My second year at Amazon, I was just on a regular team. So I had to deal with all the team dynamics, all the review process. It was so slow. It was typical big tech.
Yeah.
And that made me realize I like startups.
Yeah.
Startups are fun because you have control over the product. You can move quickly.
Yeah.
You can experiment.
I mean, less bureaucracy. We need to wait for approvals, getting things done.
Yeah.
Launch fast kind of thing. Otherwise, it takes years and months to get it off the road, right? So
it was 2 completely different processes at the same company.
Yeah.
Amazon Robotics, not Amazon Robotics, but Amazon Robotics is actually a really great company. It was a startup called Kiva Systems that was acquired by Amazon, but two very different experiences with two different managers.
Yeah.
One who was very startup oriented,
Mhm.
very innovation focused, because I worked in an innovation lab.
Yeah.
In my second year, I just worked in a regular software team. And I realized that second experience is what software engineering is like. I don't want that. I wanted that startup lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, instead of going back to Amazon for a third year, there are two companies I want to work at, Apple and Google. Only those two.
Yep.
So I'll only send an application there. And if I don't get in, I'll build my own company that summer. And I told that to one of these founders. I told him that story. I told him that, I'll just apply to Apple and Google this upcoming cycle. And he said, what do you want to do when you graduate Stanford? And he said, I'd want to do what Nikhil Vishwanathan did and work on my own company, build my own things, try it out. And he said, okay, if you want to work on your own startup, why are you applying to these companies? And then I said, it'd be really great to work at Apple or Google. I could learn a lot of things. And they said, if you want to make your dream happen, if you want to get into startups, you need to focus on that. Right now, Apple and Google are your plan B. But if you have no plan B, plan A is forced to work. So my recommendation, don't even apply. Don't even apply to Apple and Google. Know that you're not going to get there. And then you'll be forced to make the startup work. And I was like, my goodness, that's very risk focused, but I'm the rejection guy. I take risk. I'll bet on myself. Okay, sure, I'll do it. So that summer, I wanted to work on a company. So at a bunch of hackathons, I built a lot of projects. One hackathon is an OpenAI hackathon, actually. I built a email sorter. So I'll go to my Gmail, and right now you can sort your emails by when they came in. But instead, I wanted to sort them by importance. So if I have 100 emails, if I rank them in order of importance, I can go to the first 20 if I have that much time. And I worked off this project, and I realized that it's a good idea, but the problem is, even if I put them in the right order, I still need to go through all my emails. So that actually doesn't help. I need to reduce the number of emails I have to deal with altogether. So I said, okay, this summer, I'm going to build an assistant. It's going to understand my emails, and it's going to handle the emails that I don't want to handle. It's going to handle the busy emails or the spam or the cold pitches or whatever. And the important emails, it'll leave it for me, and I can handle just like an assistant. So I got together with a friend. We built out a version of this. And one thing I learned was, after building and failing at so many different things, you want to build something quickly and launch it and get users as fast as possible. So we built this in about a day. We launched it the next day, and we immediately posted about it. We said, hey, we built like a chat GPT for your email. You can text. We built a mobile app, and you can text your assistant. You can say, archive these emails or respond to this person, and you just put it online. And a lot of people liked it. They tried it out. And we started charging for it. We said, okay, we're charging $20 a month. Who's going to pay for it? And people started paying for it. And I felt uncomfortable, like, I don't want to charge for my product, but I'm the rejection guy. When you feel that voice in your head saying, you shouldn't do that, do it anyways. Do it. Because there's two different forces in your head, right? When your brain tells you, okay, this thing makes sense, and your gut, your heart tells you, it makes sense. Okay, that's an obvious decision. You should do it. When your brain tells you, this is dangerous, this is bad, and your heart tells you, this is probably not going to work out, it's probably a bad decision. You shouldn't do it. But when they differ is where the magic is. When your brain tells you, this is good, but your heart tells you, it's not the right thing to do, it's usually some temptation. Stay away from that. But if your brain tells you, I probably shouldn't do this, but your heart knows, this is the right thing to do.
Bang.
That's the best situation to be in. That's when you take your action. Always listen to your heart. Trust your heart. Trust that deep feeling inside you that knows,
the gut feeling is always right, kind of thing, right?
This thing that's scary, that I'm scared to do, it's risky, but I know that it's probably good for me. I don't want to do it because I'll probably fail, or if I do this, people are going to look at me bad, or I'm going to be embarrassed. So that's your brain. Shut it off. Take the action.
I want to learn how your parents' response was, that must have been like nightmare, right? So walk me through that. They are outside, so we can talk freely of that.
So We just built this product.
Yeah.
And the YC application was coming up.
Yeah.
So I sent it in. In my application, I said, yeah, I met Gary Tan. I have him on LinkedIn. Here's a photo. Here's this rejection challenge that I do.
Yeah.
Here's my product that I built. And they really liked the mentality that I had. It's very different than most people, where I just run straight into failure. And it's actually a skill that YC really tries to embed in their founders. So that kind of helped. But in reality, actually, we went for our first interview and we did bad.
Oh, who did the interview with the?
Her name is Diana.
Okay, Dan, yeah.
Yeah, she's our group partner.
Oh, nice.
And she gave our first interview, and oh my goodness. Usually I'm not a nervous person.
Yeah.
Like rejection challenge, all that. Even when I'm talking to you, I answer questions very well. I'm good at having conversations. But for the first time in my life, I was nervous. Or not my life, but first time in a long time since beginning this rejection challenge, I was nervous. And she asked me, "Oh my goodness, like, what are you guys building?" And I stuttered. I didn't even complete the sentence. I was like, "We're building Friday. It's an email assistant, it manager, and other stuff like that." It was so bad. And one thing that YC really wants you to know is you need to know all of your users. You need to understand them deeply. You need to know every little metric. You need to know how they're using your product, why they're using your product, how they feel. You need to show that you've talked to your users. So if you want to get into YC, biggest thing is don't apply with an idea. Most of the ideas don't get in. Have a product that's out there that has users that people are paying for, and you need to understand your audience. If you have if people are paying for your product and you know why and you know how they feel, you'll probably get into YC. But she asked us questions about our users, and I remember at one point we didn't really know. So I was like, and we care a lot about user privacy, so a lot of this stuff is hidden. But she asked us a very basic question that I should have known. I'm like, oh yeah, the info is encrypted, so I don't know. And she's like, I don't believe that. Share your screen. And I was like, oh no. We shared a screen, we found information, but eventually they're like, yeah, okay, cool, we're done. They ended the interview early, actually, so it was not good. And I just sat there and I was like, this didn't go well. We'll just go back to, we'll take 1 day break and we'll go back to building. It's okay. But they actually got back to us that night and they said, oh, we want to interview you a second time. I was like, oh, this is finally my chance. This is the one I really needed that to happen.
Is the interview with the same person or someone else?
Same one. Same one. We actually had 2 people interview us the first time, Diana and Jared. But the second one was just with Diana. And the second one, she talked to us, and I actually went to a hackathon that weekend. I went to, I think, Hack MIT, I believe. And I talked to some Harvard students, and one of them, he really resonated with me. He told me, okay, how much usage do you have? And I said, we have around $300-400 a month. How do you get to 1,000? How do you get to 10,000? How do you get to 100,000? What is the decision that you'll make that will get you there? And how do you know? I said, oh, if we just add this feature, people will use it. Why? I couldn't tell them. And one thing I really learned from that is you need to be a scientist. You need to say, if I release this feature, these people are going to be more interested, or these people are going to find value that they can't find anywhere else. If it works, I learned this. If it fails, I learned this.
Not just adding features, it doesn't work, right?
Adding features, thinking that someone's going to use it, is not going to work. We know the scientific method. You have a hypothesis. Okay, if I do this,
like the A/B testing kind of thing, right? So how do you A/B test what works for the users kind of thing, right? So
you have a hypothesis, you perform an experiment, look at your results, and then you reiterate.
Shout out to Fahim of Conversion AB for this. Okay, go on.
It really helps with products. You go like, you need to think about not how do I build a big product, how do I get people to use it, how do I get money? No. Who has a problem? Who's ripping their hair out? Who's actually struggling? How can I help them? That's your only question. If you solve the problem well enough, you will have users. Don't focus on getting users, focus on solving that problem really well. And we adopted that mindset. And when she asked, okay, since our last meeting, what have you done? We added these dashboards. We collected this user information. We now know what users are asking, how they're asking it, if they like it or not, if they're using it or not. We have all this information that we can use to figure out how our users feel. And based on this information, we're going to try this. If it doesn't work out, we're going to try this. And one of those is going to get us usage. And she liked it. It was very thought through, very deliberate process that we didn't have our first time.
Mm.
And it went much better. And on that call itself, she was like, yeah, I'd like to invite you to the batch, come to San Francisco, get a place. Actually, I didn't drop out at that time. But when I was applying, I told them, yeah, I'm on leave from Stanford. I'm not going to school. And the idea was if I get in, I'll drop out.
Yeah.
So I got in and I'm like, oh boy, now I have to figure out. Do I go
that
to
was a hard task, right? You have to convince your parents, all the people. How did that go? I mean, was that a challenge?
My parents are very supportive. As I mentioned, they do have their opinions, but at the end of the day, they will give me the responsibility to make that choice. I think that's something that they do very well. They listen. They're very patient. And they do a good job of trying to understand where I'm at and what I'm going through. So when it came time to this, I told them, yeah, I got into Y Combinator. My father, he's fine with it. He said, you know what, if you have an opportunity, you go for it. Do what you think is best. My mom, she's like, just finish your degree.
One more year, right? Just one more year.
One more year. It's my last year.
Yep.
And I was thinking, and I said, the whole point is have no plan B, right? I didn't do an internship this year. This is my junior year internship. So that internship will turn into a full-time offer when I graduate.
Yeah.
That summer is the most important one. Every summer in high school, every summer in college before that, I did an internship. But the one summer when I actually mattered, I didn't do an internship and I worked on a company.
Yeah.
And the point is to get into Y Combinator or to build a startup and learn. So if I'm going to graduate and work on my own company, then this is what I've done, right? And the analogy I like to use is, let's say you're training to go to space and you're an astronaut and you've met all your qualifications, but you still haven't completed the program. And Elon Musk comes to you and he says, hey, we're going to the moon. Hop on the ship. And you say, oh, sorry, I haven't completed my exams yet. It doesn't make any sense, right? The whole reason I'm at Stanford, the whole reason I'm learning these things and building these projects is to work on startups when I graduate. And here comes the biggest, most successful technology accelerator in the world. And they want me to join their program. And I'm going to say no to stay in school and then work at a company. So ultimately, I was actually thinking no, but I slept on it. And I said, however I feel in the morning, I'll do that. And I woke up and I was like, I've never been the person to take the safe route. I always take the risky route. I always put myself in situations where if I succeed, it's better. If I fail, so be it. And I was like, I probably should go back to Stanford. That was what my mind was telling me. But my heart was like, you take the risky option. That's what you do. That's what you're here for. You've never been one to shy away from those opportunities. So I said, I'm going to go for it. I told YC, we're in. I technically didn't drop out of Stanford. I'm on a leave. How that works is you have 2 years of leave. So 1 year I've already used up. Second year is coming up.
So wait, you can also go back to Stanford as well?
You can, but the reality is if in 2 years your startup isn't working out, it's not enough time. You still need to spend 3, 4, 5 years to know. Very few startups in 2 years know if they're going to make a break. So when you start these things, it's a multi-year journey. You're really making it commit.
It takes a long years to get things out, right?
There's no point in just going halfway and going, if it doesn't work, I'm going to go back to Stanford.
So you're not decided yet, I would say, on going back to Stanford?
I'm not going. I'm not going. I mean, Stanford's really great, but I learned what I had to. I want to work on startups, and now I have that privilege. The Stanford community is still really great. I try to be as close as I can to it. But, I'm happy working on what I'm working on. I feel like I'm working on problems that actually matter, that impact people. The whole point is, I want to hire a personal assistant because I got so many emails from the Stanford Startup Society and when I was in school, and I spent so much time on it. And if you hire an assistant, it's so expensive. So most people like me or you cannot afford to hire an assistant. Maybe some CEOs, yes, they can do that, but instead we could just do this with AI. Most of our emails, they're easy to understand. Most of our emails, you can figure out some action and perform those actions. And we built that.
Mm.
We've actually went through multiple iterations of our product, but now in Gmail, it just you sign in with your Gmail and it performs actions within Gmail itself.
Wow. A Chrome extension or no? It's like a
It's a Chrome extension. And it's actually going to be a little bit more. So how it will work is you can set up automations. Or so you can go, if I get an email from a customer and the customer is asking a question, look at this database, find the answer, and put it in the email, leave it there. Or if an investor reaches out, respond and send them a meeting link. Right? That actually helped us a lot.
Yep.
We had one of the biggest launches.
how was that? How was that? I mean, I'm about to ask you that thing. Like you raised $2 million from the YCA. So could you share how that demo day went? Demo day is the event where all the investors comes in, startups comes in, present the thing. And we have done an episode with Mufiz. You can check it out. Link in the description. And tell us about your demo. How did that go?
So
the demo video is out as well. You can check its video. We'll maybe include it on the video as well.
Yeah. So we had one of the largest, actually the biggest launch in the YC batch.
Yeah.
I actually have some family here in Kerala that I have to thank for that actually.
Yeah. Oh, tell me more.
Yeah. So in YC, you make a launch post and you just put it out there in the world. You have a video. You say, this is my product. This is my official YC launch. When you announce your company. And you build up a lot of hype there.
Yep.
You build up usage. You grow your users. Investors start reaching out to you. That's when the whole process really starts. And we did our launch, and my family being very supportive, they saw that, they said, okay, we're gonna find people to
Upvote.
to help boost your launch.
Yeah.
So they shared it with everybody. And actually, my grandpa, who lives here in Kerala, he went around all his friends, all of the community here in Kerala, and he got.
If they are watching it, shout out to this grandpa. Yeah, if he's watching the video. Yeah.
So my grandpa, he took his phone and he took the link and he shared it with hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Hundreds. So I woke up and one day we're at 50. Next day, 200, 400, 600, 800.
Whoa.
I'm getting hundreds of upvotes for this thing. And I'm like, where are they coming from? Is someone like hacking our thing? Is someone using some bot? And I didn't understand where it's coming from. I thought
Kerala community supported.
I asked my co-founder, I was like, did you write some script for this? He's like, I didn't do anything. I was like, where is this coming from? And my parents said, yeah, it's actually the community in Kerala.
Wow.
Which says a lot. One of the things I really appreciate when I come to India and I come to Kerala specifically is the role of the community.
Yes.
It's so strong.
Oh, yes.
In America, you have your family, you have your friends, but here, everybody around you, everybody you know, will work together to come together for a cause or to support you. It's very magical.
Yeah, even in the COVID time or in the flood time, people join together and build a lot of things and help each other. And that's like a community feeling in Kerala. And that is like, I think even the listeners, be it any Malayali who's listening, it can also feel it as in their blood. And I think that's a thing, magic that you saw.
Yeah, that's something that America does not have.
Yeah.
So we actually had the #1 launch in YC because of the community here in Kerala.
Wow.
So that was very special to me. And yeah, we took that. We had a pretty good time fundraising.
How much did you raise and who were the investors, if you could share?
Yeah, we raised around 2% at around $30 million valuation. But we got such good terms because I was pretty good at fundraising because of the rejection challenge.
Yeah.
So it is very different actually. So YC recommends, because most of these founders, they're very tech heavy, they're very introverted, so they say, come with a slideshow, stick to the script, give the pitch, and they do a pretty good job. But in our fourth pitch, actually, we went to one of our now investors, Pioneer Fund, and they said, we don't allow pitch decks. You need to remove the deck and you just need to talk to us. I said, okay. I've given this pitch so many times, so it's in my head. So I started telling a story. I started telling the story of my company, why it matters to me, why I think it's great, why I think it's going to be big, the steps I'm going to take. And they loved it. I've never seen a response to one of my pitches like this until now. And they said immediately, 10 minutes later after the call, they said, we'll give you a check. And it was our first big check into our company.
How much was it? Like
$150,000.
Yeah.
And from then on, I was like, no more pitch deck. I'm just gonna get on the call because the problem is, I don't really recommend this to everybody do this, but when you get on a call with an investor, it's around 30 minutes. So if you're just talking for 30 minutes, these investors, they hear dozens of pitches a day.
Yeah.
So if you give a pitch and it's very standard and kind of boring, if there's no pitch deck, no visuals, they'll lose interest. They'll start scrolling on their phone. They'll start looking at something else. And if your investor is not interested in what you have to say, you failed.
Yeah.
But because of the rejection challenge, because of talking to so many people, telling so many stories, I did a really good job. All of them were invested. And I mean, not emotionally invested.
Yes.
They didn't all invest in the company. But the biggest thing was I would not take it very seriously. I would join the call and I would have like a lake and a tent as my background. I would be sitting in a tent. That was my Zoom background.
Yeah.
And all these investors said, I've never seen anybody have such a non-professional background before. And I would make jokes, I would laugh, and they really had a good time. It was very different than all the other pitches. Most of these pitches are very serious, very business. But I just came across that, look, I'm a charismatic founder. I can make good decisions. Here's where the company's at. Here's where we're going. And more than anything, they want to believe in the founder. Because at such an early stage, the idea does not matter. The idea is always going to change.
Yep.
So they never invest based on the idea. They invest based on the potential of the company and most importantly, the founding team. So I did a great job in communicating that. So I had a very easy time fundraising. And if your company did a really good job fundraising, by the time demo day comes, you're actually done. One of our biggest investors, actually, they only invest in 5 or 6 companies every batch.
Oh.
For some context, it's like our batch had around 100 companies, but now they have like 250 companies. So they invest in like 5 or 6 companies every year.
Damn.
And they write big checks, around 2 million.
Oh.
That was bigger than our entire round because we didn't want to raise too much money. We don't need too much. And I said, yeah, we have 500K left in the round. And he said, oh, I only write 2 million checks. And then I said, okay, do you even want to be on this call? He said, okay, I'll hear you. I'll listen to it. And I gave him the story. I gave him the pitch, and I could see his face change. He said, I've never heard a pitch like this. This is very interesting. I like the story. I really like this. I'll get back to you. Then he got back to me. He said, I'm going to make an exception. Usually we have a minimum amount that we need to invest, but I'll make an exception for you. Whatever amount you need, you tell me, I'll give you that much. So I said, we have 500K left. So he said, okay, I'll give you the 500K, but you need to let 2 of my friends invest.
Cool.
His father, who actually runs SV Angel, a legendary VC firm in San Francisco, he said, you need to let him invest for 100K. And one of Paul Graham's friends, Paul Graham is the founder of YC. One of his friends, you need to let him invest 100K. So we said, okay, cool. So we were oversubscribed. What that means is we got more funding than we were looking for. So we closed the round, we stopped talking to investors, and we went to demo day. And
you got funding before the demo day?
Most companies do. You usually start fundraising 2-3 weeks before demo day. The strategy is you put all the investors into a small group and you raise very quickly. If you give investors a long time, they will wait. They'll wait till someone makes a decision, then they'll jump. But if you have no time, if you we had one investor, they came by and we were raising at a $25 million valuation at the time. And he said, oh, 25, I like the company, but 25 is too much. Can you do 20? I said, no, we have so many investors. He said, okay, let me think. Let me make a decision. He thinks for a day, no decision. Next day he comes back. He said, okay, we'll do 25. I said, sorry, price is now 30. Okay, wait, I need some time to think. And then he thinks, and I said, hey, look, the round's going to close soon. Like, we're about to get our last check. Are you in or are you out? He said, oh, I still need to think. He comes back 2-3 days later. Okay, I'll do 30. I said, buddy, round is closed. You waited too long. So
damn. I like your negotiation skill.
That's how YC teaches you to be. You need to be fast. You need to be formidable. And you need your mindset needs to be, I don't need your money. You need my company.
Yeah. I mean, their customers are you. Right?
Yeah. Don't let people push you around. Investors are just investors. There's many of them. And I was confident. I said, my company's great. I'm a good founder. We're going to have a big company. It's going to be worth a lot. And when you really believe these things, when you're so confident in yourself, the investors can smell that.
Yeah.
They know. And then they start to get scared. because they're like, oh, if I don't make a decision now, someone's gonna come by and I'm gonna miss out.
Yeah.
And fear of missing out is the number one.
FOMO. Yeah.
FOMO is the number one emotion that drives these investors. If you can build up FOMO, you're gonna have a good time fundraising.
Makes sense. Yeah. So now back to the YC demo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
It was great. My whole process was to think differently, behave differently. That was my whole process of standing out.
Yes.
You always need to stand out in anything that you do. The rejection challenge really helped me with that. Being confident really helps. So when I went on stage, I noticed all these companies come by and it's a demo day.
Yeah.
But really you have 1 minute to make your pitch to like maybe 1,000 investors sitting in the audience, all from Silicon Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't finished fundraising, that's when you really should give your main pitch. So when we went up there, I said, how can I be different? None of these companies are actually demoing their product because you have 1 minute. You don't have time.
Yep.
And you say who you are, what your company is, what you're doing, how much you're raising, what you're planning, like all that stuff in 1 minute. You don't have time for a demo. So I said, how can I fit a demo in here? How can I be creative? And as I think you might add it to the video, but my strategy was I went up there and I said, hey, we're Friday. We're building an email assistant. Friday handles all my emails for me automatically.
Yeah.
I gave it full access to my email. It's so good, in fact, that if you press the invest button, Friday will respond to you before I even leave the stage. How it works is they have 2 buttons. Like, which what it does is it just puts it in the company in a list.
Mm-hmm.
So they can reach out to that company later and maybe invest or whatever. But the second button is invest.
Oh.
And what that means is not an actual investment, but YC will CC them and CC you in the same email and say, oh, this investor wants to invest in your company. You can
On the
book a
email
meeting.
thread. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, press the invest button. YC will send us both an email and you'll receive a response from my assistant Friday before I leave this stage.
Wow. That's like, damn.
They've never seen that before. Never. Instantly, they're so curious. So all of them press the invest button.
Wow.
So your goal is to just try to get some interest. And I got hundreds. My phone was blowing up for maybe like 10 minutes, nonstop emails being sent. And usually what people do is they take the computer, they go downstairs and they're just responding to emails all the time. I was already done. All my emails were sent out.
Whoa.
They're all perfect emails. They would say, oh, hello, investor. Thank you for reaching out. Here's when I'm available. Here's my link. And let's book a time. If this time doesn't work, whatever. It'd send an email to that investor. And if they responded, it would follow up for me
Automatically.
automatically.
Wow. That's Friday.
Yeah. Now, Friday today, it can do that, but we actually don't recommend giving it full. It's a little bit risky. So instead, what it does is it'll write all the emails for you. It'll just let you give the final approval. So if someone reaches out, it says, I will write this email. Just approve it.
Yeah.
So press enter and it'll send it out.
Instead of like automatically sending without your knowledge, it just gives you a kind of thing.
It goes to it goes 99%. That last 1%, you just press the enter button to approve. So for every email, you just press enter, 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 enter.
Wow. And how is the growth so far? And in terms of users, and what is the stage?
Yeah, we got a lot of uses actually. I have so many launches on Twitter, on LinkedIn. So
I saw a video of you demoing the product as well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So those do really well. Some of our users are big VC firms, heads of VC firms. Actually, the CEO of Product Hunt,
Oh, Ryan Hoover.
Rajiv Iyengar.
Oh yeah, the new one. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, Ryan Hoover reached out. He wanted to invest. Actually, we had a conversation. That was really cool. But Rajiv Iyengar uses our product too. So, and a lot of people who use it are even VCs. This was so interesting. During the YC batch, when we were fundraising, VCs would use our product and they would use Friday to email companies in our batch.
Wow.
So people would get emails and it says sent via Friday.
Powered by send via Friday, right?
Send via Friday, and they go, wait, this is a company in our batch. So that was really cool. But yeah, even assistants use our product as well. So anybody can try it out. It's friday.so.
Yeah. Make sure to check it out, friday.so, and we'll also include a demo as well. And I think we are short of time, so maybe you can, I know you are hiring engineers, right? And and our audience is good of engineers, building products. I would be, if you have more time, I could maybe host you for a meetup as well in KPH. But since we are short of time, you can maybe shout out to the requirements you have. Engineers you're hiring. If you are you hiring people in Kerala, if that is open up as well.
I am actually. Ideally, we try to find a way to get you to the United States. One thing I'll mention is if you want to work on Friday, I'd recommend trying out Friday.
Yep.
So if you want to give Friday a chance, actually use code KPH. We'll give you 1 free month.
Yeah.
1 free month. So try out Friday, see how it is. If you see any problems or things you want to improve, just message me on Twitter or LinkedIn, or you can email me at
Yeah.
Allen.
Don't say send hi, how are you kind of thing. Send him a like specific thing. You know, maybe
Send me a video.
record a Loom video or something like
Yeah.
that. You know, explaining how this can be better or how this can be all these things. So that is a better chance of winning.
Because think about it.
Yeah.
Let's say I want to work for Microsoft.
Yeah.
If I go to Microsoft and say, hey, here's a system that you have, I've improved it. You've already demonstrated you could do the job. So, of
Yes.
course, they'll hire you.
Yeah.
Same thing for me.
Makes sense.
If you can take something at Friday and you give an improvement and it's actually very good, of course, I'll hire you.
Yes.
So, yeah, code KPH will give you free access.
Perfect.
Try it out. If you don't like something, fix it.
Perfect. And thanks a lot for the last 1.5 hours. And there are like few questions I want to ask. Like next is rapid round.
Sure.
Some of the books that you recommend to the audience.
0 to 1, Peter Thiel.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, any other books that you recommend?
Ooh, Blitzscaling by Reid Hoffman.
Yeah, LinkedIn
was
founder, right?
Pretty good. The Cold Start Problem.
Yeah.
It tells a story about, I believe, Uber. Is an employee at Uber. He, I think, is now an investor at A16Z. That was really good too. So
And any podcast that you listen to, you know, maybe Y Combinator podcast or KPH, maybe you can start listening to as well. Anything that you recommend?
the YC Startup School videos on YouTube.
Yes, the best.
Great database.
Yeah. Any other resources you want to share that will, you know, someone is watching at their house or listening to this, want to start up someday? Any recommendations about that? Maybe blogs or something you can recommend?
I would say actually the best thing is go on Twitter.
Yep.
And or X.
Yep.
And interact with people in the Silicon Valley space.
Yeah.
See what they're up to, see what they're posting, and have an audience.
Yep.
Start getting your voice out there.
Yep.
Get followers, get attention.
Makes
It's
sense.
super valuable.
Makes sense. So what are the AI tools that you use apart from Friday, obviously, that you use in your day-to-day life?
I use Cursor for coding. That's really the main one. I have the ChatGPT Pro subscription.
So Pro is super worth it.
For most people, it's not, I think, but because I'm in a highly technical field,
I mean, the most people in the KPH audiences are, you know, it's like a high level.
yeah, the Pro is the $200 a month plan.
Oh, not okay. That's
Not
different.
Plus, Pro.
The Pro one. Okay, that's a different.
ChatGPT Plus, everybody should get it.
Yeah.
I think they're coming out with ChatGPT Go.
Go as well in India. Yeah.
You have to get
Oh,
it.
you pay $200 per month for
$200 a month.
Wow.
They have their most premium model. It's a company expense. So otherwise, I wouldn't pay for it.
Any other tools that you pay use?
For emails, yeah, Friday. For
Calendar you use
I just use Google Calendar because Friday can actually
plug from the
put
calendar.
meetings on your calendar.
Yeah,
We have
wow.
a chat feature coming out. That's not released, but it'll do it. If you actually have a thing that'll schedule meetings for you. So if you reach out and you don't want to use a calendar link, you say, "Oh, I'm free on Monday." It'll say, "Actually, he works on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at these times." So we'll go back and forth and it'll book a meeting for you fully automatically.
Wow. It's like your EA on an email.
It's what we're building.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Wow. Next question is, what is your day in your life like? Looks like right at the moment. Are you in SF right now?
Yeah. I'm in India, so a little different. But in SF, I usually get up 9:45, and we have a daily sync at 10 a.m. So we get together as a company and we say, "Here's what we're going to work on. Here's what we're going to achieve." The rest of the day is pretty unstructured. I work from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Yeah, that's when I go to bed.
Oh.
So when you're working, I love startups. I love software. I like building things. So it's not really like work for me. And of course, I take breaks. You know, breaks are important. Helps your mind reset. I'll play some piano or guitar. I will work out sometimes. Stop for food, obviously. I'll go for walks. So I usually have a list of things that I actually want to achieve. So,
Checklist.
yes. It's a challenge that I have with my co-founder, actually. I will read a book, play some music, work out, sleep on time, journal. These are all good habits that I try to cultivate. So I'll sprinkle that out in my day.
Interesting. Next question is KPH guest. We have 70 podcast and we ask this question every guest: health, wealth, relationships. And maybe talk about health and what are you contributing to health and how are you balancing all these things in your life?
It could be a lot better, honestly. I try to work out. Going to bed on time is important for me. I have actually an 8 sleep. I don't know if you know what that is. It's
a bed, I think. It's
yeah,
bed.
it's like a mattress cover that has like temperature
It's
regulation.
expensive, I think. It's a bit expensive, I think.
It is expensive, but one of our partners, one of the banks that we work with, actually gave it to us for free.
Wow.
So since that, it's been helping regulate my sleep and make sure I go to bed at the right time. I used to be very bad with my sleep schedule. I'll just keep working. The way that my mind works is I have a lot of inertia, as in if I'm working on a task, I'll keep doing it. I don't switch very easily.
Yeah.
So when I need to go to bed, sometimes I don't.
Makes sense. So you're not doing a good job in health right now. Yeah. Maybe after this podcast you do better.
Yeah. No,
maybe
my sleep schedule is getting better, which is good. I try to go to bed 2 a.m. Wake up 9:45, so 7-8 hours of sleep.
Makes sense. Talk about wealth. Are you investing into other companies, or how are you building your wealth at the moment?
Not much. So when it comes to the company, I pay myself the minimum wage, minimum legal amount. So it just covers rent and food. Other than that, I don't have much. But everything I do get, I just put into the stock market.
Makes sense. You're into Robinhood and stuff like that. Yeah. And talk about relationships, and you can talk about your family, how that has supported you. And you have mentioned when you were launching, they all went to Upvote and everything. Talk about the relationship, and maybe you can give a shout out to Onam as well.
Yeah. As I mentioned, my family is very supportive. My friends too are. You have so many different communities, as in my Boston community here in Kerala, my community in San Francisco, in Stanford. So the way that they all interact is very interesting. I try to keep in touch with the people that are very close to me. I could do a better job too. Again, sometimes I get so engrossed in my work, so focused, and I forget to reach out to people. So it's something that I've been doing better at, and something that I can improve on for sure.
Makes sense. And tell about Onam, and today when the episode is going live, it's like Onam, happy Onam to every viewers.
Onam.
Yeah, talk about the Onam Sadyas. Are you familiar with Onam Sadyas and all?
Yeah. In Boston, where we're from, there's a very big Malayali community. So there's multiple Onam Sadyas that we're part of, that we take place in. So many celebrations. There's actually multiple Malayali communities.
Oh.
They each have their own Onam celebration. So one maybe on the actual day, one before, one the week after. So around this time, there's so many, which is why I needed to take this outfit back home. So good for Onam.
Happy Onam to the Boston community and the people who are watching this episode as well. Yeah. Okay. So last 1.5 hours ആയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ അലനായിട്ട് സംസാരിച്ചു. 22-year-old Stanford Dropout, building his YC company, and do immense stuff. And ഈ പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് ഇത് ഓണം ഡേയിലാണ് നമ്മൾ റിലീസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടാവുക. And I hope this Onam really makes a difference in your life. And if you're watching this, ഇതിൽ കിട്ടിലും കുറേ ആളുണ്ട്, and ഇത് എനിക്ക് റീവാച്ച് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയൊരു എപ്പിസോഡാണ്. Maybe years from now, and maybe we'll have having you after maybe coming next time. You can also do some meetups and all these things in Kerala. So that time this will be looked upon as well. So I really wish you great success. And I'm getting goosebumps as I'm sharing it. And any ending notes to the audience and KPH viewers who are watching it? Any ending notes you want to share to them?
I say, try to get rejected. Be brave. Go after those goals that you have. If you're interested in entrepreneurship, build something, get out there, get some users. Yeah. If you do, reach out to me. We're hiring.
Yeah.
But other than that, try out Friday, see how it is. Otherwise, thank you so much for having me, and happy Onam.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yes. KPH കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയിലുള്ള പല ഫൗണ്ടേഴ്സും പറയുന്നത് പല പ്രൊഡക്റ്റും ഓവർ ദ വീക്കെൻഡ് പ്രൊജക്റ്റായിട്ട് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. ഫണ്ണായിട്ട് ശനിയും ഞായറായിരുന്നു ബിൽഡ് ചെയ്ത് മൺഡേ ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്യുക എന്നൊരു ആക്ടിവിറ്റി തന്നെയാണ് പല ഫൗണ്ടേഴ്സും ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. അത് റിപ്ലിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് KPH ആക്കത്തിൻ്റെ ഇൻറ്റൻഷൻ. ക്യാൻ യു ബിൽഡ് $1,000 per month ജനറേറ്റിംഗ് പ്രൊഡക്ട്സ് ഫ്രം കേരള? AI വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. തിങ്സ് ഹാവ് ബിക്കം റിയലി ഈസിയർ. നൗ ഇറ്റ്സ് എ മാറ്റർ ഓഫ് ലോഞ്ചിങ് ദ പ്രൊഡക്ട്സ്. ആൻഡ് സ്കെയിലിംഗ് ഇറ്റ്. KPHന്റെ മറ്റൊരു ഇവൻറ്റ്സ് എല്ലാം പോലെ ഇത് ഇൻവൈറ്റ് ഓൺലി ഹാക്കത്തോൺ ആണ്. എക്സ്ട്രീം ക്യൂറേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സീരിയസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാരെ മാത്രമാണ് നമ്മൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. ആ ഫൗണ്ടേഴ്സ് ബിൽഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് നെക്സ്റ്റ് 3 months $1,000 പെർ മന്ത് ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ എന്നുള്ളതാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ചലഞ്ച്. നമ്മുടെ ഹാക്കത്തോൺ കഴിയുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റായിട്ട് ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്യുക. ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ആ റിസോഴ്സസ് ഫ്രം ലോഞ്ചിങ് ടു ജനറേറ്റിംഗ് ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഡോളർ ഫ്രം ദ ഇൻ്റർനെറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ഫസ്റ്റ് ഡോളർ ടു $10, $10 to $100, $100 to $1,000 പെർ മന്ത്. ആ ഒരു സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ബൈ സ്റ്റെപ്പ് സ്റ്റേജസ് ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യുക. അത് ഫ്രം ദ മെൻറ്റേഴ്സ് ഫ്രം KPH ആണ് നമ്മൾ എനേബിൾ ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുന്നത്. KPH ഹാക്കത്തോണായിട്ട് കൊളാബറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ താല്പര്യമുള്ളവർക്ക് നമ്മളെ കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്. Feel free to reach us out. Hackathon link is in the bio and see you soon.